The Detroit baseball fans here, as well as all baseball fans around the country, get an additional thrill out of the presence of an outstanding former Tiger player, Charlie Gehringer, who had the pleasure of throwing out the first ball to catcher Bill Freehan of the Tigers. Pee Wee, as a former infielder, I know that you appreciated the greatness of Gehringer.
I certainly did, Jack. There go the Tigers taking the field. This game is about ready to start. I had the pleasure of playing against Charlie Gehringer a few times in spring training, and what a ball player he was.
Let's skip over these batting orders quickly once again for you. For the Cardinals, it's Brock, Flood, and Maris. Cepeda, McCarver, and Shannon. Javier, Maxville, and Washburn. And for the Tigers, McAuliffe, Stanley, and Kaline. Cash, Horton, and Northrup. Freehan, Wirt, and Wilson. The Tigers have taken the field defensively. They have a battery of Earl Wilson and Bill Freehan. Don Wirt is at third base. Mickey Stanley is at short, looking up, checking the sun right now. Dick McAuliffe at second base and Norm Cash at first. Around the outfield, Willie Horton in left. The center fielder is Jim Northrup, and the right fielder is Al Kaline. Joe Schultz is at third base doing the coaching for the Cardinals, and Dick Sisler is at first. The umpire, Stan Landis of the National League, is working behind the plate. At first base, Bill Kinnaman of the American League. Doug Harvey of the National League at second base, and Bill Heller at third base. He's from the American League. Along the left field foul line, Tom Gorman, he worked the plate in the opening game of the series, and Jim Honachek of the American League is in the right field corner, and we're all set for the afternoon of baseball in the third game of the 1968 World Series. Took an unofficial poll before the game, Pee Wee, and talking to most everybody I could, and I proposed that the team that won this game would win the World Series, and I would say that about 70% of the people said yes. How about you?
I kind of believe that. Of course, the Cardinals still have one thing going for them, Bob Gibson, but I don't believe he can win 4 games. And I believe that Denny McLean is going to try to do something about that in the game tomorrow.
That's the ball game tomorrow, McLean and Gibson. Right now, we have Washburn and Wilson. The series tied at a game apiece, and Lou Brock stepping into the batter's box to lead it off. There's been a little furor about Lou Brock's base stealing with regard to the game situation, and there were some quotes in the Detroit papers today about Lou being a showboat. He laughs it off. He says, let them say what they want. So we've got something going, as we usually do during these fall classics.
Well, of course, Jack, the game has changed considerably. I can remember when I was playing, if you were 6 runs ahead or 6 runs behind, you would never think of stealing. And if you did steal, the next time you came up to that plate, you may be kind of low bridge by the pitchers. But I cannot say anything against Lou Brock because I have to agree with him. He and a fellow by the name of Wills and a boy by the name of Bert Campaneris have made a lot of money with their legs, and I don't blame them. I'd run any time I could.
Lou Brock in the batter's box. He's a left-handed batter. The third baseman, Don Wirt, comes in about 5 steps in front of the bag. Wilson, the right-hander, into the windup, and here's his first pitch of the ball game, and it's low in the dirt and bounces back to the screen. Ball 1. I don't care who you are. When you're in your first World Series, no matter who you are, it's got to get to you a little bit.
You have to have a few butterflies. That first pitch to Wilson was just a little bit low.
The outfield shallow straight away, and here's the pitch to Lou Brock, and Lou takes it low for ball 2. I'm surprised at the shallowness of Jim Northrup in center field. Can he go back in the ball that well, Pee Wee?
Yes, he can. I haven't seen Jim play too much in center field. I've seen the fellow at shortstop play there, and he can go back on it with the best of them.
2 balls, no strikes to count, and the next one on the way to Brock, and he takes the ball high and away, and that's ball 3, and Lou Brock might be on his way to first base. Wilson with a 3-0 count on the leadoff hitter. Flood and Maris will follow in this inning. We just started the ball game from Tiger Stadium in Detroit. Wilson throws a strike. He caught the corner at the knee. Brock started down to first base. He thought the ball was out of the strike zone. It's 3-1. Time is called by the third base umpire, Bill Heller, whose brother, by the way, is the catcher. Here's ball 4 as the spitball violation is called by the third base umpire, Bill Heller. He makes it ball 4 because Earl Wilson touched his fingers to his mouth, and down goes Lou Brock to first base, and now Bill Heller goes into the Detroit dugout. He gets into it with some of the Tiger players, and Brock is on with a walk as a result of Earl Wilson putting his fingers to the mouth while he was on the pitching mound.
Well, I'm sure, Jack, that most of the fans listening to the ball game know the rule, but in case they don't, we'll explain it to them. You may go to your mouth with your fingers if you're off the pitcher's circle. But evidently, Earl Wilson went to his mouth while standing on the mound, and that's an automatic ball.
Well, there's something they'll be writing about after the ball game. Here's Kurt Flood. Flood 2 out of 7 in the series thus far. Brock a lead. Doesn't go. Ball 1 high. Norm Cash is holding. Norm Cash is holding against Lou Brock, who has already stolen 3 bases in the ball game. Outfield playing Flood to pull just a bit. A lead by Brock. He's not going. The pitch is high and away, and that's ball 2. It's hard to tell if that was a pitch out or not. I think it was from the way Bill Freehand was moving.
Jack, I was thinking that on both the pitches. Looks to me like it was just a little bit high and outside. Bill Freehand wanting to get a good shot at Brock if he does go.
Brock's going. The pitch swung on, and no throw by Freehand, who couldn't handle the low pitch, which is ball 3. So Brock steals his 4th base of the series. He set a series record last year by swiping 7th. We're only in the 3rd game. Most folks project that this will go 6 or 7, and there's no telling how many Brock will steal. He's at 2nd. With nobody out and a 3-0 count on Flood. Maris waiting to hit next. Wilson has thrown only 1 strike. The right-hander checks the runner and fires, and it's a strike called, and it's 3-1. Flood, like Brock, started down to first base, but is called back by the plate umpire Landis.
Jack, it's amazing how much a fellow like Brock can upset a ball club. He had Earl Wilson, he had Bill Freehand worrying about him stealing. He pitched out, he got himself in a hole. It also helps the hitter because he usually gets the fastball to hit.
The 3-1 pitch coming. Flood takes it low, ball 4, and Wilson has walked the first 2 men to face him in the ball game. And it brings up Roger Maris. He's looking for his first hit in the World Series. He's played only 1 game. He's 0 for 3. When he hit the record-breaking 61 home runs, he hit 6 of them here in Tiger Stadium. With a friendly right field foul line, only 325 to the seats in right. 2 on, nobody out, first inning. Brock's at 2nd and Flood at 1st. They play Maris to pull just a bit. They give him the left field corner. Wilson from the belt fires, swung on, foul, and Maris had a good cut and fouled it back, strike 1.
Well, you can see how these Cardinals play. Wilson walks Brock, walks Flood. You would think that Roger Maris may be taking that first pitch and see if Wilson may be having a little control problem, but he chopped down on that first pitch.
He was trying to make it 3-0. He waits. Left-handed batter, Maris. Wilson leaning in, gets the sign from Freehand. Brock and Flood lead away. And the pitch coming. Maris takes it high and away, way high, way outside. Ball 1, 1-1. The lights have been turned on here at Tiger Stadium. Not that it's that dark now, but in anticipation of it being dark at the close of the game. And it'll also be dark for one of these 2 teams. They'll be down 2-1. Maris waiting. Wilson ready. Brock a short lead. Maris swings, hits it foul off the end of the bat. Reached for a pitch low and away. Now Wilson's ahead of a hitter for the first time.
Wilson on the first 2 hitters, he was keeping the ball up. Wilson is not a high ball pitcher. He must keep the ball down. His ball sinks. So whenever he's coming up with the ball, he's in trouble.
And he'd like the double play ball now on that sinker pitch of his. Brock at 2nd, Flood at 1st. There's nobody out. We're in the first inning of the ball game. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count to Maris. Earl Wilson is ready. And he fires, and it's a little bit outside. It's ball 2, and Wilson thought he might have had him, but Landis wouldn't give him the call. It's 2-2. Waiting in the on-deck circle is Orlando Cepeda. Joe Schultz coaching at 3rd, hollering in encouragement to Maris, who's in his final season of baseball. Wilson ready again. The 2-2 pitch coming. Maris takes ball 3 in the dirt. And a full count of 3-2. Now, Maris doesn't strike out too often, particularly against a right-handed pitcher. And with Brock at 2nd, I imagine they'll be going on a 3-2 pitch with nobody out. What do you think, Pee-wee?
Well, you just called the shot at Maris, and you know better than I do that he does not strike out. If he gets a piece of the ball, I'm sure that Red Sandys will be sending. And with a fellow like Brock on 2nd and Flood on 1st, I don't think you have to hesitate too much.
Wilson walked the first 2 men and has a 3-2 count on Roger Maris. The runners lead away. Wilson steps off the rubber as Mickey Stanley, the shortstop, gets in behind Brock, but there's no throw. Ready again. The runners are going. Maris swings, hits it foul, and will do it again. The ball bounces past Dick Sisler at first base, and the plate umpire Landa sends a new one to the mound. Brock returns to second and Flood to first. Ray Washburn is not the kind of a pitcher whom you'd expect to throw a shutout when he goes out there, and so he would like very much to get some runs with which to work. Joe Sparma, a right-hander, he is warming up down in the Detroit bullpen in the left field corner as Wilson is in early trouble. The runners were going on the last 3-2 pitch, and Lankley will do it again. Maris waits. The runners go. Maris takes a strike. There's the throw. Double play coming up. He's out at third. Here in the last 20 seconds at Tiger Stadium. Now Flood's at second base, and there are 2 out. Maris took a called third strike, and it was a good pitch from Wilson at the knee. Freehand fired the ball to Wirt, and Brock couldn't even slide. He was out by that much. A double play going 2-5. Freehand to Wirt. First time that Brock has been out stealing in series play. After 11 successes, now it takes a base hit by Cepeda to get Flood home. Pitch high, ball 1. 2 outs, then the strikeout, and Brock out stealing. And the Tiger fans get their first time to cheer today. Outfield deep around to the left for Cepeda, who's had 2 out of 8 in the series, driven in 1 run. He waits. The pitch from Wilson, swung on and a ground ball to the left to Stanley. Up with the ball, big hop, juggles it and throws. He's out, and the inning is over. At the end of 1/2 inning, no score.
Kenny Reese along with Jack Buck at Tiger Stadium in Detroit, Michigan. The 3rd game of the World Series between the Cardinals and the Tigers, and what a first inning. Looked to me like the Tiger was in real bad shape, Buck. Jack, Brock got a walk, then Bud got a walk, and everything was looking bad for the Tigers. And with 1 pitch, everything looked good for the Tigers. And maybe just the lift they need.
In the field now, Cardinals on defense have a battery of Washburn and McCarver. The leadoff hitter is Dick McAuliffe, and the crowd greets him. Around the Cardinal infield, Shannon at third, Maxwell short, Javier at second, Cepeda at first, Brock in left, Flood in center, Maris in right. Tony Cuccinello coaching at third base for the Tigers, and Wally Moses at first, and McAuliffe with 3 hits already in the series. A left-handed batter steps in. Batted .249 during the regular season, and he likes this short right field porch. Outfield plays him around to the right. Shannon even with the bag at third. The first pitch is a breaking ball, goes low from Washburn. Ball 1. Ray Washburn, 30-year-old right-hander, his best year ever in the major leagues with a record of 14-8. Lives in Kirkland, Washington. Comes to the plate to McAuliffe. He takes it low again, ball 2. McAuliffe with that classic batting stance of his, wide open, facing the pitcher. Kicks that front foot, the right foot as the pitch comes in. Washburn behind the leadoff hitter. Usually has outstanding control. Into the windup, the pitch, and it's swung on and hit foul off to the left and out of play. 2 balls and a strike. In this first inning, it'll be McAuliffe, Mickey Stanley, and Al Kaline. Cardinals did not score in the first inning. Left 1 man on base.
Jack, what type of pitcher is Ray Washburn?
His best pitch in the last couple of months has been his off-speed breaking pitch, and so you'd say he's a breaking ball pitcher rather than a fastball pitcher. Throws a fastball, slider, and curve, and changes speeds on the curve. He comes to the plate. Ground ball to Cepeda. He traps the ball, knocks it down. Washburn covers out at first, as Cepeda made the play himself. The traffic was a little too tough for Cepeda to throw the ball. Washburn was over there to cover. But Orlando preferred to make the play himself, and he did. McAuliffe is out first base on assistant. The batter is Mickey Stanley. Batter, normally a center fielder and one of the best in the game, playing shortstop today. He's had 3 out of 9 in the series, and they play him to pull around to the left. Pull wind up by Washburn. He fires, and a curveball stays high, ball 1, and that's the kind of a pitch that could get a hurt in this ballpark.
I don't think Washburn would like to throw too many pitches like that. He got that pitch down just a little bit, that spells trouble.
Here's the next one to Mickey Stanley, and it's a breaking ball inside, and that's ball 2. He's been behind the first 2 hitters, as Earl Wilson was for the Tigers in the first inning. The sun is in and out of the clouds. The lights are on at Tiger Stadium. We're in the first inning, and there's no score. On 2-0, Stanley swings, hits it to second baseman Javier behind the bag, up at the ball, throws. He's out. Stanley out by a step, 4-3. Javier was back on his heels as he fielded the ball, but had time nonetheless to get rid of Stanley, and here is Al Kaline. Two and out, the base is empty. Tigers batting in the first. And Kaline, with 3 out of 9 so far in the series, at the plate. A right-handed batter. Strictly a pull hitter. Brock in the left field corner. Flood in left center. Shannon behind the bag at third. The pitch from Washburn. Strike called. A good fastball. So Washburn in this first inning has not been in the trouble that Earl Wilson encountered, but got out of in his first inning. There's a curveball that got away from Washburn over the head of the hitter. 1-1. A ball and a strike. Now McCarver rubs up the baseball before returning it to the mound. Waiting on deck to hit is Norm Cash. About 53,000 at the ballpark, all wearing wraps today. Curve in the dirt. Now he's behind Kaline, 2 balls and a strike. The Washburn has been behind each of the first 3 hitters. Kaline deep in the batter's box. Bat held high. He waits. He takes a strike call. He started to go and took a slider on the outside corner, and Washburn showing him a little bit of everything.
I think you'll see that both of these pitchers today, with these long ball hitters up there, they'll try to keep the ball out away from them.
Washburn caught the corner that time to make the count 2-2. Here he comes again, and Al Kaline takes it low and away, and that's ball 3. Grounded to Cepeda. Stanley was thrown out by Javier, and a 3-2 count on Kaline. And the next one on the way, swung on, fly ball, left field. Brock going back, so's Flood. They're both there, and Brock makes the catch. Kaline hit the ball rather deep to left, out, caught by Brock. At the end of 1 inning, no score. Teams are happy that that first inning is out of the way.
Well, I'm sure they are, especially the Tigers. They really did get themselves in a jam that first inning. Wilson looked real shaky, and you had 2 men on those sacks like Brock and Flood. It looked like nothing but trouble with Roger Maris up there, but Wilson made a great pitch, 3-2 on Maris, and he was caught looking, and they threw Brock out easily. And also, Jack, one thing in the Tigers' favor, Stanley was able to play right on the bag to hold Brock close because Maris is definitely a pull hitter. He didn't have to worry about him hitting the ball into left field.
It was a point, and it kept Brock from getting his usual big lead. Well, Cepeda made the last out in the first inning, leaving a man on. So McCarver leads off, looking for his second series hit. A left-handed batter. Earl Wilson, the right-hander, comes to the plate, and McCarver takes a strike call at the knee. It'll be McCarver, Shannon, and Javier in this inning. Outfield playing McCarver to pull just a bit, because Tim is capable of hitting the ball out in a ballpark like this, but most often he's going the other way into left center. Wilson delivers, and McCarver takes it outside for a ball. 1-1. Don Wirt at third base is a step in front of the bag with a left-handed hitter up there and playing off the line about 12 feet. Stanley at shortstop, McAuliffe at second base at the edge of the grass, and Norm Cash pretty well off the line at first. The 1-1 pitch. Low. McCarver started to go, held up, took ball 2. Cardinals won the opening game. Tigers came back to win the second and even it up. And here we're in the second inning and there's no score. McCarver, the leadoff hitter. And the 2-1 delivery coming. Swung on and a high fly ball to center. An easy chance for Jim Northrup. Waits under the ball and has it for the first out. McCarver got good wood on that ball. It sounded good, but it looked really like he tried to pull an outside pitch and couldn't get enough on it.
Well, as you said, McCarver, most of the time he'll be hitting the ball in the left field and left center, but he was trying to pull it and didn't quite get around on it enough.
Mike Shannon steps in. Cardinal third baseman, a right-handed batter. He's had 2 hits and 1 RBI in the series. He goes down. Ball 1. The pitch was up and in. Ball 1 to Mike Shannon. Shannon led the Cardinal ball club in runs batted in this year. They play him to pull. Bill Freehand gives the sign. Wilson delivers, and Shannon swings and grounds one back to the pitcher on 1 out. Shannon's out at first. From Wilson to Cash, and there are 2 gone. Defensively for the Tigers, downward at third, Mickey Stanley at short, Dick McAuliffe at second base, and Norm Cash at first. Willie Horton is in left. Willie will be hitting in the next inning following Cash. In center field, Jim Northrup, and in right field, Al Kaline. With 2 out and the bases empty, Javier is the hitter. Top half of the second, no score. Wilson seems to have settled down considerably. He pitches to Hooley, and it's a ball low outside. Javier has had 3 hits, more than any other Cardinal in the series so far, and is the only Redbird to drive in 2 runs. Cardinals have only 1 home run in the 2 games played, and the Tigers have 3. Javier deep in the batter's box. Takes the ball low, and that's ball 2. Javier hit .260 this year. And a good deal of that average compiled against left-handed pitching. He murders the left-handers. Against a right-hander like Wilson, well, you don't know what to expect. Into the windup, the Detroit hurler fires. Javier takes it inside, and that's ball 3. 3-0. Javier looks down at Joe Schultz at third base. See if the hitter take is on. It's conceivable that Javier would be swinging at this 3-0 pitch, but not very likely. Maxville waiting on deck. 2 out, nobody on. On 3-0. Low ball 4, and that's the 3rd walk given up by Earl Wilson. Javier walks with 2 out. There have been no hits in this ball game as yet. The Tigers went down in order in their first inning. Cardinals had 2 men on in the first, but both by walks. And now a 2-out walk issued to Javier brings up Dal Maxville. Maxville, the Cardinal shortstop, looking for his first hit in the series. Javier is on at first, has stolen a base against Detroit. The pitch to Maxville. Swung on and a fly ball to left. Back goes Horton. Back near the wall. He's got it. Maxville flying to left to end the inning. At the end of an inning and a half, the Cardinals nothing, Detroit nothing.
Davey Reese along with Jack Buck. Bottom half the second inning. No score in this ball game. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Cardinals. No runs, no hits, and no errors for the Tigers. Leading off for the Tigers in the bottom half of the second inning will be Norm Cash, then followed by Willie Horton and Jim Northrup. And Jack, Dal Maxville only hit 1 home run this year, but he came close on that one.
Another 5 feet, that ball would have been over the head of Willie Horton in left field and would have been 2-0 St. Louis. But that's about Maxville's best shot. The little guy bumped up and couldn't quite get it into the seats. I'm sure he wasn't trying to. Cash, Horton, and Northrup will bat for the Tigers in the second. And here is perhaps one of the 2 most dangerous hitters in the Tiger club in this ballpark. Norm Cash, left-handed batter, already has a home run in the series. Takes the ball outside. He's had 3 hits in the 2 games played. And they play him to pull. Into the windup, Ray Washburn fires, and a changeup is hit foul past first base as Washburn led up on the pitch. Cash way out in front, fouled it down into the corner, makes it 1-1. Cash batted .263 this year. Only .325 down the line into right field at the seats. And that's Cash territory. He can hit him a lower deck, upper deck, or over the roof here in this ballpark, which he's done. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on the leadoff hitter. The Cardinal right-hander fires, and it's a good strike call at the knees. Cash thought it was low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That might have been Washburn's best fastball of this ball game in its early stages. And he's out in front of Norm Cash. Delivers, and the curve goes in the dirt. That makes it 2-2, and the fans get on the umpire. Call that one a ball or strike, you bum. That's it. 2-2. a lot of room to Cash in left center, and Brock is way off the left field foul line. The 2-2 delivery is low inside with a slider. And a full count now of 3-2. Tigers haven't had a base runner yet. We're in the bottom of the second inning, no score. And the 3-2 pitch is on the way, and it's swung on and hit off the end of the bat behind short. Maxwell has to get it. He's back there and makes the catch. When I said Maxwell has to get it, he could get no help from Brock, who was playing way around into left center. Here's Willie Horton, and listen to the crowd. The Tiger left fielder, leading home run hitter of the 1968 campaign, Willie Horton, has had 2 hits, including a home run in the series. What a menacing-looking fellow he is. 5'10", 200-pounder, steps in. Deep in the batter's box, wide stance. The pitch, curveball, low, ball 1. 1 out. Time call as McCarver goes to talk to his pitcher, Ray Washburn. They're playing just the opposite for Horton as they were for Cash. Way around to the left. Brock near the corner, Flood in left center. Straightaway center field is almost empty with Horton up there. And Maris way off the right field foul line. Shannon deep behind the bag at third. The windup in the pitch. Breaking ball stays inside, and that's ball 2. One out, nobody on. You get behind a fellow like Horton. He's looking for a pitch, and if he gets it, watch it. Washburn delivers. High, ball 3. And now Horton has to look at Tony Cuccinello. Can I hit? He might be swinging to it.
Funny thing about this, Park, you have to pitch a little bit more differently than you do in the Cardinals. You'll notice the pitchers will be 3-2 and 3-1 because they can't just afford to put that ball down the middle of the plate. They're always trying to keep that hitter from hitting that long ball.
The 3-0 pitch is a strike call and a good fastball from Washburn, who challenged him, makes it 3-1. Willie steps out, knocks the dirt out of his spikes before getting back in. Washburn is retired 4 men in a row. Pitched a no-hitter earlier this year, you know, against the Giants. The 3-1, foul back to the screen, makes it 3-2. Willie Horton up there with the 3-2 count. 1 out, bases empty. Last half of the second inning and no score in the ballgame. Jim Northrup waiting in the on-deck circle. McCarver waits for the hitter to get set, gives the sign, and here's the 3-2 pitch. Low in the dirt, ball 4, and Horton becomes the first Tiger base runner. And now, Earl Wilson has walked 3, and Washburn has walked 1, and the batter is Jim Northrup, the center fielder for Detroit. Northrup has had 1 hit in the 2 games. Strong left-handed batter, more a straightaway hitter than Norm Cash. Cepeda's holding against Horton at first base. There's hitting room through the right side of the infield. The pitch. Inside with a slider, ball 1. Cardinal infield of Shannon, Maxville, Javier, and Cepeda looking for the double play ball to end the inning. Northrup at the plate. Wanting to do something with Horton at first and 1 out. The pitch. Let up goes high. Ball 2. Northrup started to go, held up. Washburn's behind this hitter. 2-0. Breeze blowing out toward right will help these left-handed batters. Horton the lead. The pitch. Swung on, and it's a foul ball. Hit past first base down into the corner. A foul ball hit by Northrup. Somewhat of a rhubarb as Mayo Smith comes out of the Tiger dugout, and he's talking to the plate umpire. The ball hit fair, bounced past first base and hit foul. But the question is, was it fair when it passed the bag? Northrup, the left-handed batter, was looking right at it. He thought it was. The umpire said no, and it's 2 balls and a strike.
A lot of people don't realize, Jack, that if that ball goes over any part of that bag, it does not have to hit in fair territory. As long as it goes over any part of that bag and hit in foul territory, it's still fair.
2 balls and a strike to count to Jim Northrup. Horton with the lead. The pitch is made. It's a strike call on the outside corner of fastball. 2-2. Pee Wee Northrup says you put the jinx on him. Whenever you come here with the NBC game of the week, he never gets a hit.
I was wondering if you heard that today.
Well, let's see what happens here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jim steps out as Washburn started to work too quickly. Washburn steps back on. Horton takes the lead. And the 2-2 pitch is coming. Swung on, popped up into right field. Maris is going to get it. Waits and has it for the second out, and Willie Horton back to first base. Northrup reached for the ball and sent a routine fly ball to Maris. With 2 out, Bill Freehan comes up looking for his first hit of the series. He's a real favorite here in Detroit. Attended the University of Michigan, just a few miles from this ballpark, from St. Petersburg, Florida. Horton on at first base, 2 out, no score, second inning, and Freehan held up on a half swing. Ball 1. Freehan batted .263 during the year. 0 for 6 in the series. Full hitter, right-handed batter. Washburn checks the runner and delivers. It's low. Ball 2. We're in the second inning, no score. There are 2 out, and the Tigers have Horton at first. Freehan will be gunning for one here on 2-0. The pitch. High. Ball 3. Looks like Don Wirt might be coming up in this inning. 3-0 to Freehan, and with Don Wirt coming up, was a 200 hitter this year. Don't be surprised if Freehan swings at this one. The lead by Horton. The pitch is high, ball 4, and Freehan walks. 2 walks by Washburn in the inning. And Don Wirt comes up. This is a pesky little hitter with batting average. He's not too proud of Pee Wee. With men on base here, Horton at second, Freehan at first, and anything can happen.
I want to say one thing, Jack. You have a fellow that's following Don Wirt hitting in that 9th spot who isn't a bad hitter. He just had 7 home runs this year and batted in 17 runs.
So Washburn is going to have to come to Don Wirt, give him a ball to hit. 2 on, 2 out, second inning, no score. Ball 1, low outside. Carver yells something out to his pitcher Washburn before returning the ball. Tigers haven't had a hit, but they have their first scoring threat. First and second, 2 out. Wirt swings, pops it foul off to the left. Shannon coming over. So's McCarver. It's going to be out of play. A ball and a strike now. Don Wirt wears that protective flap over the left ear on his batting helmet. Looks a little strange. That takes a little getting used to.
Looks a little strange, Jack, but I think if I were playing today, I believe I would wear it.
Pension plan being what it is, it's not a bad idea.
Yes, sir.
2 on, 2 out, no score, second inning. A ball and a strike on Don Wirt, the pitch. Swing and a miss, and it's strike 2. It's one of the few balls that Washburn has thrown by a hitter who's swinging. He's out in front of Wirt, 1 and 2. Outfield straight away, not too deep with this hitter up there. Fans clapping the hands, trying to get something started for the Tigers here in the second inning. The pitch from Washburn, and it's low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wirt is capable of hitting home runs. He's had 45 of them during his major league career. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out. The pitch is coming. Swung on and missed, and a curveball got him. Wirt.
The top half of the third inning. Pee Wee raced along with Jack Buck, the first hitter. For the Cardinals will be Ray Washburn. Tell you all about it. Jack, come on in here.
Okay, Pee Wee, there haven't been any hits in this ball game. The Tigers have had 2 base runners, both on walks. Cardinals have had 3 base runners, all on walks. And Washburn comes up. Washburn is capable of hitting the ball. He's not considered to be a good hitting pitcher like Wilson. And he has hit home runs in the big leagues before. The pitch to him is a strike call. Earl Wilson on the mound, the Tiger right-hander. In fact, Washburn has hit only 1 home run during his big league career. The pitch swung on, bouncing ball to short. Mickey Stanley with a big hop and throw. He is out. There's 1 gone. Stanley throws on Washburn. There's 1 out here in the top half of the 3rd inning. No score. We continue to tell you about this ballpark for those of you who haven't visited Tiger Stadium. 340 down the line in left, 440 in straightaway center, 325 down the line in right. But the power alleys are very friendly for the hitters. The batter, Brock, walked, stole a base, and was out stealing in the 1st inning. Left-handed hitter. Takes the ball low. Third baseman downward has to play about 5 steps in front of the bag with Brock up there, although Lou doesn't bunt as often as you think he would. First baseman Cash is even with the bag, guarding against the drag bunt. The pitch from Wilson coming. Low again, ball 2. And that's what Wilson doesn't want. If they're going to put Brock on, they want him to hit his way out. Keep him off altogether, of course, is their preference.
If you walk a fellow like this, it's not like giving him just 1 base. It's almost like walking a double.
2 balls, no strikes. Here's the next one, and Brock swings and hits it over the pitcher's head. Tough play for Stanley. Up with the ball, throws. Hey! Lou Brock legs one out as Stanley handled the ball quite well right in front of the second base bag. Got rid of it, but couldn't flag down Lou Brock, and there's the first hit of the series.
Mickey Stanley, the shortstop, made a great play. I didn't think he'd make it as close as he did. He would have thrown anyone else out outside of Lou Brock.
Now, Brock has the first hit in this ball game. He has stolen 4 bases thus far, 1 of them today. He's on at first with 1 out, and the batter is Kurt Flood. Brock a lead. The pitch is high for ball 1. In situations like this, Pee Wee, many times the Cardinals tell Brock not to steal in order to leave that hitting room for Kurt Flood with Cash holding against the runner.
And Kurt Flood can hit that ball in the right field.
The entire right side of the infield is almost empty with McAuliffe near the bag at second. Brock a lead. He's going. The pitch swung on and fouled by Flood. Brock was trying to steal, and Flood fouled it off, making it 1-1. In the 3rd inning, there's no score here in Detroit. First World Series game since 1945 in this Michigan City. And a good enough day weather-wise. About 55 degrees, sun shining. Earl Wilson, who won 13 for the Tigers this year in his first series game. Checks Brock, pitches. Flood takes it in the dirt. And a fine play by Bill Freehan, who kept that ball in front of it. 2 balls and a strike. Washburn grounded out to start the inning. Brock got an infield hit, the first hit of the ball game. And now Earl Wilson is behind Kurt Flood, 2 balls and a strike. No score, 3rd inning. Brock takes the lead. A long look by Wilson. Brock is going. The pitch fouled again by Flood, and this one might be caught near the stands. It will be by Cash. He has it. With Brock running again, Flood had a ball to hit and fouled it, trying to go to right field. Norm Cash made the catch. 2 out, the batter Maritz. And if Brock was trying to steal with 1 out, he surely would be trying to steal with 2 men gone.
Well, it looks to me like, as you know and as I know, Brock is on his own. He can steal any time he wants to, except you told me occasionally they give him a sign not to steal.
That's the only time he doesn't run, Pee Wee.
And Red Sandys, as much as he can upset a ball club, I'm sure any time he gets on there, he's going as soon as he possibly can.
Maris, who was called on strikes his first time, waits at the plate. Brock is not going, and the pitch is low and away. Ball 1 to Roger Maris. Maris with 2 on in the first inning. Looked to the third strike. Dick McCall, the second baseman, is a step into the outfield grass with Maris up there. They don't play Maris to pull as most ball clubs do. Brock a lead. Not going. Pitch, strike call, 1-1. Wilson got his slider in there. That's probably his best pitch, Pee.
Yes, I would say it is, and also his sinker ball. He can keep the ball down. He is tough.
Maris waits. No score. Third inning. Brock at first. 2 out. 1 ball, 1 strike to count to Roger. And the pitch from Wilson instead of throw to first, and the runner's back. Wilson does not have a particularly good move to first. Brock a lead. He's going. Pitch fouled by Maris. Now he's in the hole, 1-2. Foul off the mask of the catcher, Freehan. So 3 different times now, Brock has tried to steal a base. And each time the hitter has fouled the pitch.
Maybe he'll get tired.
He's getting his road work into. Northrop. Straight away center field. K-line off the line in right. Maris waits. Brock is not going. The pitch is low, and it is 2-2. In the Tiger third inning, Earl Wilson will be leading off. What will the score be at that time? In the top of the third, 0-0. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Maris. Brock a lead. A leisurely toss over there by Earl Wilson. And Lou leads away again. Another quick throw. He's back in time.
You can see there, Jack, he gave him not his good move on the first one, but that one right there was the best move that you'll see of Earl Wilson.
Another look over there by Wilson. Brock is going. The pitch is outside, and Brock is safe at second base. The ball was knocked out of the glove of Stanley, and Brock now has stolen 5 bases. His second in this game, and his 5th in the 3 games. He's at second with 2 out. Maris took ball 3, and it's a full count of 3-2. If Stanley had held that ball, Brock might have slid right into it, or was he there?
I thought they would have had a chance if Stanley would have held on the ball. I thought Bill Freehan, as many times that they've gone to second and stolen second, I think that was Bill Freehan's best throw of the series.
I agree with that. But Brock ends up at second with 2 out and a 3-2 count on Maris, and the base hit would chase home the first run of the game. The pitch. Low, ball 4, and Cepeda comes up with 2 on, 2 out, and that is the 4th walk issued by Earl Wilson, as Maris laid off the sinker ball. Freehan meets Wilson halfway to the mound. He'll have to pitch to Cepeda now. Orlando grounded out to short in the first inning, leaving a man on base. Cepeda takes a little time before coming up. We're watching him in batting practice. He's still not hitting the ball like the Cepeda that you and I both knew.
No, I saw him last year, and I said that I thought he was probably the best hitter in baseball. But this year, well, he's had a very weak year. He's batted .248 for him, and he's never had a good series.
2 on, 2 out. The pitch to Cepeda from Wilson on the way, and it's low, ball 1. Brock is the runner at second base. Likely won't be going anywhere with 2 men out. On at first base, Maris. Outfield deep around to the left for Cepeda. No score. Top half of the third inning. Wilson is ready. And here he comes. Up and in, ball 2. And Wilson is struggling. Brock got an infield hit with 1 out. The only hit of this game for either club. And with 2 out, he has walked Maris after the stolen base by Brock. And now he's behind Cepeda, 2-0. Cepeda digging in, waiting. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled, and Cepeda had a good cut. The pitch was down from Wilson and was fouled up into the press box. He kept the bat loose that time.
It's the best swing I've seen him have in a long time. One thing that used to amaze me about him, the way he would attack the ball, as I would say. He doesn't jerk at the ball, but just that front foot. When he decides to take his swing, he just dives in at the ball.
He swings a big 40-ounce bat, and he waits for the 2-1 delivery from Earl Wilson. Brock at second, Maris at first, 2 out. Third inning, no score. And the pitch to Cepeda is on the way. Swung on and missed. The breaking ball got him, 2-2. Cepeda was fooled with the breaking ball, and the count goes to 2-2. Wilson has struck out 1, allowed 1 hit and walked 4. He would like to improve the totals in the strikeout department right here with Cepeda. Wilson taking plenty of time. Gets the sign from Bill Freehan. And he's ready. Here he comes. Swung on and tapped foul out in front of the plate. A lot of the fans in various portions of the ballpark couldn't see the ball and thought that Cepeda had fanned. He barely got a piece of it, but still 2-2. The third game of the World Series, one described by most as a pivotal game. Cepeda trying to chase home the first run of the game, and Earl Wilson trying to get him out. The 2-2 delivery coming. Swung on a high fly ball into left center field. Should be caught. Back on the track is Horton, so is Northrup, and Northrup makes the catch. Cepeda flied to center. Cardinals lead 2 on at the end of 2.5. St. Louis nothing. Detroit nothing. NBC has you at Tiger Stadium in Detroit. Pee Wee Reese alongside, and I'm Jack Buck. The Tigers, no runs, no hits, no errors. The Cardinals, no runs, 1 infield hit, and no errors. And we go into the bottom of the third inning with Earl Wilson leading off. Tomorrow, Gibson and McLean. In the fourth game of the series. And this place will be howling tomorrow, Pee Wee, as if it isn't today.
Well, I'm just wondering if the Tigers learned anything in that first game against Bob Gibson. I've talked to quite a few of them, and they do say that they're definitely not going to try to swing as hard as they did in that first game.
Here's Earl Wilson, the Tiger pitcher, who this year hit 7 home runs. During his lifetime career in the American League, he's hit 33 home runs. A strong right-handed batter and a pull hitter. The pitch from Washburn is a curve in there and a called strike. Ray Washburn on the mound. He's allowed 2 base runners, both on walks and both in the second inning. Now we're in the last of the third, and there's no score. Wilson leading off. Strike call, a fastball at the letters, strike 2. It will be Wilson, McAuliffe, and Stanley in the Tiger third. Here's the next one. And it's high with a fastball. Wilson laid off. Ball 1, 1-2. Cardinal outfield is playing Wilson with about as much respect as they show anybody. The pitch coming, curve in there, called strike, he's out. 2 strikeouts for Washburn as he got him with that off-speed curveball, which has been the pitch which has made Washburn so effective in the last part of this regular season. McAuliffe, the hitter, grounded sharply to Cepeda his first time, and Orlando guards the line as the Tigers' second baseman steps in. McAuliffe has driven in 2 runs in the series. That on a base hit into center field. Outfielder around to the right for him. The pitch is up and in, ball 1. Ray Washburn, a right-hander on the mound for St. Louis. And McAuliffe at the plate. Most people expected a high-scoring game today, but nothing doing so far. There's a breaking ball, stays outside, and it's ball 2. Breeze blowing toward right. The crowd trying to whoop it up. And the pitch coming to Dick McAuliffe. Strike call, a good fastball from Washburn, 2-1. Washburn now has 2 strikeouts in a row. He fanned Wirt to end the second inning and got Wilson here at the start of the Tiger third. The 2-1 delivery on the way. high with a fastball, makes the count to 3-1. Washburn, who's walked 2, has a 3-1 count on the hitter. Tony Cuccinello coaching at third base for Detroit, and Wally Mose is at first, and I'm sure that McAuliffe has the green light in this situation. And here comes the 3-1 delivery. Swung on, hit foul, past the Cardinal dugout, down into the right field corner. St. Louis is playing Shannon at third, Maxwell at short, Javier at second, Cepeda at first, Brock in left, Flood in center, and Maris in right. A full count on the left-handed batter, Dick McAuliffe. Right-hander Washburn, after a long look, goes to work. Here's the 3-2 delivery, hit foul, a line drive down into the right field corner. The fans reach, trying to get a World Series souvenir, but it's beyond their reach. It's snared by a member of the Cardinal bullpen crew. Still 3-2. And here McCarver chattering behind the plate. Here's the next delivery, and it's swung on. There's the first Tiger hit, a shot into left. Fielded by Brock on 2 hops. McAuliffe goes partway to second, but comes back. McAuliffe singled in the left center field with 1 out. Each team has a base hit in the ball game now. McAuliffe is on at first. He's about the fastest of the Tiger runners. On at first with 1 gone, and the batter is Mickey Stanley.
Jack, I think Ray Washburn thought he had McAuliffe set up then. After a 3-1 pitch, he threw him a slider. 3-2 pitch, he threw him a curveball. He thought he could throw that fastball by him, but didn't.
They pitch out, but McAuliffe is not going. Ball 1 to Stanley. He's a neighborhood boy from Birmingham, Michigan. Runner at first base. 1 out here in the Tiger third, no score. Mickey Stanley at the plate, grounded to second his first time. The pitch on the way, and he swings and misses, and what a cut he had. Stanley took the best cut of the ball game so far. He was going for downtown with that one. A ball and a strike. That was a letter-high fastball that Washburn got by him. Outfield around to the left. McAuliffe the lead off first. The pitch is made, swung on, double play ball, hit to Javier, boots it, goes to first, out at first, and McAuliffe is safe at second. Javier booted a potential double play ball, then had to go to first to get Stanley, and Al Kaline comes up with a runner at second and 2 out. Do you think they would have had 2 had he handled the ball cleanly, Dewey?
Well, of course, I've seen Javier and Maxwell make that double play so many times, and they're very quick. But Javier, knowing that McAuliffe, who has good speed going into second, wanted to get the ball to Javier with something on it in a hurry, and he also knew that Stanley, the hitter, can fly down that first baseline, and I think he tried to throw the ball before he caught it.
McAuliffe is on at second base. And Al Kaline, who flied to left his first time, is the batter. He has a chance to put the Tigers out in front in the scoreless third inning. The first pitch, swung on, and he missed the curveball. And he was trying to make it 2-0. In the last 5 weeks of the season, Kaline batted .368. So he is carrying a hot hand coming into the series. He waits for Washburn. Here it comes. Fastball, strike call. It appeared that Kaline had his mind made up he was going to get another breaking ball.
Well, Jack, Bob Gibson told me the other day that when Kaline is at bat with runners on base, he looks for the curveball, and they're going to try to pitch him a fastball with men on. Let's see if they do.
0-2 the count. Curve in the dirt as Washburn wasted one, making it 1-2. McAuliffe, who singled and advanced to second on an infield out, is at second with 2 out here in the bottom of the third inning and no score. Kaline the batter. Washburn out in front of him, 1-2. Outfield deep to the left as Kaline waits. And the pitch coming is a fastball, and it barely missed, and the Cardinals thought they had him struck out. McCarver tried to flatten the ball with his fist, and Washburn took a step off the mound And a look in at the plate umpire, Stan Landis. It's 2-2 now. There was the fastball that Pee Wee referred to, but he didn't get the strike. Here it comes. Curve. There it goes. 2-0 Detroit. Takes the ball inside. He hit a curveball that appeared to be about belt high with Pee Wee Reese, and he hit it into the upper deck.
Well, it looked like he was looking for a curveball on the pitch before when Washington just missed with that fastball, but Kaline stayed back with it and got his pitch, and it was not a good curveball. It was a little too high.
Now Cash fouls one out of play, and the left-handed batter has the count of 1-1, and McCarver goes to the mound to talk to Washburn.
It was not a good curveball for Washburn, a good curveball for Kaline.
I'll say 2-0 Detroit. They've made 2 runs on 2 hits. Washburn does not have a great propensity for throwing home run balls. But Kaline got to him that time. During the year, Washburn allowed only 9 home runs, and he pitched a lot of innings. Norm Cash takes a changeup outside. Ball 2-1. With 1 out in this Tiger third of a scoreless game, Wilson struck out. McAuliffe singled solidly to left. Stanley grounded out. The Cardinals missed the double play, and then Kaline homered. Cash hits a ground ball to second. Javier has to come fast. Up throws. Good play. He got him. He's out. The inning is over. Detroit jumps out in front. At the end of 3 innings, the score. The Tigers 2. The Cardinals nothing. This is the 4th inning now. A 2-0 ball game, Detroit. McCarver leading off for the Cardinals. Earl Wilson on the mound, and here to bring you the play-by-play, former Dodger shortstop Pee Wee Reese.
Thank you very much, Jack. For the top half of the 4th inning, we have seen some of the Cardinals' speed. Ball hit hard, foul down at first baseline. McCarver getting a little bit too much out in front of that ball. Al Kaline has shown the Tiger power as he hit a home run in the left field stand with McAuliffe on base to put the Tigers out in front here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Earl Wilson will try to hold it, and McCarver trying to start things off for the Cardinals in the top half of the 4th inning. Fastball just missed outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. McCarver will be followed by Shannon and Javier. The attendance today, 53,634. A nice crowd on hand to see this 3rd game of the World Series. A foul right straight back over our head. McCarver hit .253 during the regular season. Lifetime World Series play, .278. He's 1 for 7 in the series. In the 2nd inning, he fired out to center field. Here's Wilson's pitch. A line drive, a base hit out into right field. Al Kaline to go over to cut that ball off. McCarver makes the turn. The throw comes in at Stanley at shortstop. And Kaline, you can hear the people yell as Kaline fired that ball on the line to Stanley at short. So the Cardinals have a base runner on at first.
Pee Wee, the opposition doesn't do much running on any of these Tiger outfielders.
Kaline has one of the real great arms in baseball. Talking about Kaline, he's hit 174 home runs in his career at this ballpark. Plus 1 today makes it 175. Mike Shannon takes the first pitch, a low sinker by Earl Wilson. 2 low, ball 1. Shannon checking with the coach Joe Schultz at 3rd base. Coaching in first base for the Cardinals, Dick Sisler, the son of the great George Sisler. 1 ball, no strike. Here's the pitch. Shannon started, checked his swing on a curveball. It's low and outside, ball 2. The Tigers 2. The Cardinals nothing in the 3rd game of this 1968 World Series. Tomorrow, Sunday, it'll be Bob Gibson against Denny McLain. Hope that you can be with us. Jack Buck and I will be right back here. Game time. 12:45 Eastern Daylight Time. Curveball inside, ball 3. And Earl Wilson wanted that one. The count on Mike Shannon. McCarver on at first. Norm Cash holding close. McAuliffe over close to the bag at second. Stanley a couple of steps toward third. Fastball inside. Ball 4. And Wilson's had a little control problem today. That's his 5th base on ball.
Pee-wee is not that sort of pitcher ordinarily. I know that he depends on his good fastball and slider and keeping it on the corners. He doesn't walk that many, but today, 5 walks.
Jack, you say is maybe in a series like this, they may be trying to be just a little bit too fine.
It appears that way, for he walked only 65 during the regular season, while striking out 168.
Javier, with runners on first and second. McCarver on at second. Shannon on at first. There's no one away. We're in the top half of the 4th inning here at Tiger Stadium. Wilson checks McCarver at second. Here's the pitch. McCarver way out in front of that curveball. Looks to me like he was looking for a fastball.
Javier is that kind of hitter, Pee-wee. If he's looking for a particular pitch, he can look as bad as anybody can at the plate. On the other hand, he has power, particularly in a ballpark like this. And I know that people might be getting weary of us saying a ballpark like this, but this ballpark was built for hitters.
And here's a fellow that's been real tough in World Series play. 375 lifetime average in series. During the season, Earl Wilson talking about his control. 5 base on balls with his high. Curveball going outside, ball 1. And Javier, as Jack told you, he loves left-handers. Right-handers give him just a little bit more trouble. He's tough in the clutch. He's checking with Joe Schultz. Down at third base. McCarver on at second. Shannon on at first. 2-0, the Tigers over the Cardinals. We're in the top half of the 4th inning. Wilson sets. Looks back at McCarver. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Jack talking about Bob Gibson telling me that Al Kaline looks for a curveball with man on base. Evidently, Ray did not read the report.
I think you knew about it, and Gibson knew about it, and Washburn didn't.
Gibson should have told Washburn instead of Pee-wee. Of course, you just can't keep standing out there throwing a man a fastball all day. The curveball, as Jack told you, was a little bit high. Ray wanted it down a little bit more, low and outside. Here's the pitch to Javier. Just missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Cardinals have no runs. They have 2 hits. They have not made an error. The Tigers have 2 runs on 2 hits, a home run for Al Kaline with McAuliffe on. Javier calls time, goes over to Darryl Maxwell in the on deck circle, gets a little pine tar and puts it on his back. Earl Wilson getting a few practice throws. The count is 2-2 on Javier. There's no one away. McCarver on at second. Shannon on at first. Wilson asked for the count from Stan Lannis, who's behind home plate umpire today.
Pat Dobson, the right-hander, is starting to warm up in the Tiger bullpen.
Wilson, the stretch to pitch. Going outside, ball 3. The count on Javier.
We talked about Maris not striking out earlier when there was a comparable situation. Now, Javier does strike out quite a bit, particularly against right-handed pitchers. So it'll be interesting to see if McCarver and Shannon do any running here.
I saw McCarver checking with Joe Schultz at third. So did Javier. There's no one away. The count is 3-2. Let's see if McCarver goes. He did not go. The pitch was in there. Ball strike 3. He struck him out.
the dugout is all over the plate umpire, Stan Landis, about the call third strike to Javier, was unhappy about the call. Cardinals going into this inning had left 4 men on base.
Well, but it's the same situation they had a while ago with Roger Maris up there. If they would have sent McCarver then, it would have definitely been a double play. So Red Shandy wisely did not send McCarver. So the runners are still on first and second. Shannon on at first, McCarver on at second. Dow Maxwell, the hitter. He fired out to left. There go the runners. Look out. Bill Freehan throws the downward. They got him. Joe Schultz is holding his third. And so is McCarver. Here comes Red Shandy out of the dugout, the Cardinals. Right now, let's pause 30 seconds for station identification. Well, here's what happened. With McCarver on at second, Red Shandy should just got through having a say with the third base umpire, Bill Heller. With McCarver on second, Shannon on first. Javier had just got through striking out. We were talking about them not sending the runners. So on the first pitch to Dow Maxwell, Red Shandy elects to try the double steal. McCarver, a catcher, has better than average speed. Tried to steal third, but Freehan threw him out on a close play at third, and we had a little argument about that. Third base coach Joel Schultz and McCarver, the catcher. But it's all over with now. It's two-away. Dow Maxwell is hitter, and Mike Shannon on at second. The score, the Tigers 2, the Cardinals nothing. Win the top half of the fourth inning. Earl Wilson for the Tigers, Ray Washburn for the Cardinals. The 1-0 pitch. Foul straight back, makes the count 1-1.
Well, we've had some action in this one, haven't we, Billy? I guess more action in this game than in any of the other previous games. Bob Gibson dominated in the one, and Mickey Lolich and the Tigers took care of the other, but a little back and forth in this game, although the Tigers are the only ones that scored 2-0 here in the fourth inning.
Well, the Cardinals have the reputation of being a running ball club, and they keep doing it. 1 ball, 1 strike on Dow Maxwell. The pitch, it's inside. Ball 2.
To repeat what you said earlier, though, the last couple of throws by Freehan, he's shown us something better than he had previously.
He looked like he was just a little bit too anxious in that first game. Of course, I guess when you get a Brock on there, it makes you a little anxious. You want to get to that ball a little too fast sometimes. Of course, if you don't get it out of there in a hurry, you have no chance to throw him out. 2 balls, 1 strike. Earl Wilson kicks. Here's the pitch. Ball hit hard. Wilson knocks the ball down. He can't find it. Now he does. Flip the ball over the non-catch. And that's all for Dow Maxwell and the Cardinals in the top half of the fourth inning. After 3.5 innings of play, it's the Tigers 2 and the Settlers Cardinals nothing.
The Cardinals have now left 5 men on base in that fourth inning. McCarver singled, Shannon walked. Javier was called out on strikes. McCarver was thrown out trying to steal, and then Earl Wilson took a base hit away from Maxwell with a fine fielding play. And so the Tigers still have that 2-0 lead as we go into the bottom of the fourth inning. And back we go to Pee Wee Reese.
Jack, just ask you one more question. One thing about this Cardinal ball club, even though they do get thrown out, they do not stop running, do they?
No, they're not easily intimidated. They know who can do what because the ball club has been together for quite a while. And Shaney, although he is conservative, in fact, we've seen very few seldom double steals following the Cardinals all year long. He likes the element of surprise, but he never stops trying to surprise the opposition.
Thank you, Jack. Willie Hart leading things off for the Tigers in the bottom half of the fourth inning as the Tigers lead in this game by a score of 2-0 on Al Kaline's home run in the bottom half of the third inning. Ray Washburn into the windup, the kick. Fastball too high, ball 1. Defensively for the Cardinals, Cepeda at first base, Javier at second, Maxwell at short, Shannon at third. In the outfield, Brock, Flood, and Maris. Curveball, hit foul down the third baseline, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. McCarver doing the catching, and Ray Washburn the pitching for the Cardinals. Washburn was 14-8 on the year. He does not have an overpowering fastball. Good curve, slider, and relies a lot on control. But although I will say, Jack, I've seen him throw 2 or 3 real good fastballs today.
And he's able to reach back and get a good one when he needs it. And his fastball moves quite a bit, so he's not afraid to throw it.
But he had a much better fastball until he hurt his arm a couple of years ago.
Surely did. He was a fastball pitcher exclusively at that time.
The 2-1 pitch to Willie Harton. It's too high. Ball 3. Willie Harton with a count of 3 balls and 1 strike on him. Jim Northup in the on-deck circle. Here comes the pitch. Fastball, 1 hopper to Mike Shannon at third base. The throw with Cepeda, and that's all for Willie Harton. So after getting behind in a hole, Ray Washburn retires the power slugger, Willie Harton. And talking about the control of Ray Washburn, very good. 1968, walking an average of 2 batters every 9 innings. Jim Northup. He flied out to right field his first time up, takes a fastball inside. Bottom half the 4th inning. Tiger Stadium, Detroit, Michigan, the 3rd game of the World Series. Fastball outside. 2 balls, no strikes on Jim Northup. Curveball too high, ball 3. Northup 1 for 8. He's 1 for 9 now in the series. On the year he hit .264. Good power. He had 21 home runs. 90 runs batted in. And he went for that 3-0 pitch as Mayo Smith gave him the green light. And he was going for the long one. And he had his pitch, but fouled it off. The count is now 3-1. It's 1 away. McCarver giving the signs. Washburn, the kick. Ball hit out into left field. Should be no trouble for Lou Brock. He's underneath it and takes it for out number 2. So it's 2 up and 2 down here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Bill Freehan stepping in there. Freehan in the 2nd inning. Got a base on ball. Ray Washburn almost nicked Bill Freehan with that slow curve. And that would not be anything unusual for Bill Freehan. He holds the Tiger record, the all-time record for being hit by a pitch ball. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's a fastball. High and outside, ball 2. The count on Bill Freehan. Washburn into the windup. Fastball right in there for call strike 1. Kurt Flood in center field, pulled over a little bit in left center. Lou Brock over close to the line. They play Freehan as a pull hitter. He did pull it, but he popped it up. Maxwell, the shortstop, going back. Brock coming in, and Brock calls for it and takes it for the 3rd out. And that's all for Freehan. That's all for the Tigers here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. So the score after 4 full innings, the Tigers 2 and the Cardinals nothing.
We're going into the 5th inning of this ball game, and Ray Washburn will be the leadoff hitter for the Cardinals, who make no move to the contrary. So Washburn will lead off. Brock and Flood will follow. Cardinals have had men on base in every inning of the game. The first 2 walked in the first. And 1 man was left on. In the 2nd inning, a 2-out walk. In the 3rd inning, there were 2 on, 2 out with Cepeda up there, but the Cardinals failed to score. Single by McCarver and a walk to Shannon in the 4th inning. But a man was out stealing and yet another left on, so the Cardinals have stranded 5. Meanwhile, the Tigers have had only 2 scoring opportunities, and they cashed in on 1 of them. In the 2nd, 2 on, 2 out. The number 8 hitter up there, and the Tigers left 2 on when Don Wirtz struck out. But then in the 3rd, with 1 out, Dick McAuliffe singled, and with 2 out, Al Kaline hit a 2-2 pitch for a home run. And so it's 2-0 as Pee Wee Reese tells you about the 5th inning.
All right, Jack. Ray Washburn leading the Cardinals off here in the top half of the 5th inning. That's what he did in the 3rd inning as he grounded out to the shortstop, Mickey Stanley. Washburn all the way for the Cardinals. Earl Wilson, of course, all the way for the Tigers. 2-0. The Tigers over the Cardinals. The first pitch to Washburn, a fastball in there for call strike one. Earl Wilson has walked 5 and struck out 2. Here's the pitch. A fastball. Looks like he was trying to put a little too much on that one. The Tigers have 2 runs on 2 hits. The Cardinals have no runs on 2 hits. 1 ball, 1 strike on Ray Washburn. The batter is now in the shadows, and the pitcher is in the sun. A fastball in there for call strike 2.
Steve, that's the first time you mentioned the shadows. The hitters, even the umpires, say it's difficult to pick up that ball at home plate along about this time of day.
It's not tough enough to hit that ball as it is. A 1-2 pitch. Fastball right at him in. Washburn did not like the call, but I don't think he'll win that argument. He's still saying something to Stan. Landis, the umpire behind home plate. And Mr. Landis takes that mask off. Look out.
He's been taking one thing today. Both the Cardinals and the Tigers have been on him a little bit. Boy, it's a tough job, especially here in the series when everybody's paying attention to everything that happens down there in the field. Well, let's see if the Tigers can keep Brock off base this time.
Well, he's been on twice. He walked in the first inning and singled in the third inning. There's a ball right back through the middle, and they cannot do it, Jack. Jim Nossoff up with the ball. Brock making the turn at first. Well, let's see what's happened to Brock. He stole a base in the first inning, stole one in the third. He now has 5 stolen bases in this series.
It's an interesting situation, Pee-wee, with the Cardinals trailing 2-0 and Flood up there with that hitting room through the right side that we were talking about earlier. For now, if Brock does get thrown out, well, then they'd take the Cardinals out of the inning. So we'll see if he goes or not.
Does Brock ever get thrown out?
Oh, yes, he does, and I'm sure that the Tigers might be pitching out here. See if they can keep him.
Brock moving around at first base, trying to bother Earl Wilson. Here's the pitch, and there he goes, and the fastball, free-hand throw. He's safe.
Well, that's 6. 3 today. 3 before today. Well, that's how confident that guy is, Pee-wee, because you just don't run when you trail 2-0, and you got a hitter like Flood up there.
He didn't take long, did he?
Well, I tell you, I know that he told me before the game that he has Wilson figured with regard to his move to first base.
Kurt Flood's a hitter. A swing and a miss. Strike 1. Well, Wilson is a big fella. He's 6'3". Weighs 215 pounds. He has a fairly quick move to first base. Once he decides to take that ball home, he doesn't get rid of it too fast. And Brock, I'm sure he knows this. 1 ball, 1 strike on Flood. Here's the pitch, the fastball right down in there for call strike 2.
I think Wilson, after the first couple of innings now, Pee-wee, has a good slider going for him. That's what he got Washburn on strikes. He's out in front of Flood, and because of that, now his fastball has started to be effective for him.
Well, I've seen him pitch 2 or 3 games this year, and if he's right, he's tough to beat. He's had a lot of injuries. Injured his heel, hit twice the batted ball, hurt his left knee in fielding a ground ball.
Mr. Brock has tied another record.
You know, watch him. He may break it right here. Stanley breaking it back of Brock. Wilson looking back there. Kurt Flood with 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wilson. Here's the pitch. Line drive, base hit. Out into left field. That ball may be in there for extra bases. Here comes Brock in to score the first run for the Cardinals, and moving into second base with a stand-up double, Kurt Flood.
I didn't think anybody would ever make a move. Stanley was getting back to short. Brock was taking his lead. Flood must have stood at the plate for about 30 seconds while Earl Wilson was checking him out. I thought surely the Flood would call time and step out, but instead he got the double and drove home the first Cardinal run. He's the tying run, and Mayo Smith to the mound, although there is no one throwing at the moment in the Detroit bullpen. We pause 30 seconds for station identification. We said earlier that there was no one throwing in the Tiger bullpen, but now there is. Pat Dobson, a right-hander, is up and throwing for the second time. Mayo Smith talked to his pitcher, and now he's in a discussion, and it appears to be a friendly one with the plate umpire, Stan Landis. And now Landis goes out to the pitcher's mound. The Tiger scoring took place in the third inning on a base hit by McAuliffe and a home run by Kaline. Tigers 2 runs on 2 hits. The Cardinals have out-hit Detroit 4-2. And St. Louis just scored their first run. Washburn struck out to start the inning. Brock Single stole his third base of the day to tie a series record, 3 thefts in 1 game, and Flood doubled him home. And now Maris and Cepeda will have a chance to even up the score.
One away. Kurt Flood down at second. Roger Maris the batter. The Cardinals now trail by a score 2-1. Earl Wilson looking back at Flood. Stanley checking the runner. Fastball just missed outside. And Mayo Smith out to talk to Wilson. Looks to me like he's feeling his right leg, like he has a muscle pull in that right leg. I thought it may be, Jack, that Mayo Smith is out to tell Wilson, don't worry too much about that man at second base. Because I think it did mess up his timing. A fastball outside, ball 2.
On the other hand, Flood, who's on at second base now, does not run in the fashion or style or as often as Lou Brock. And with Maris and then Cepeda coming up, he won't be going anywhere here in this 5th inning.
Man, I'm telling you that Brock can really upset a ball club. How he loves to run and can run. Here's the pitch. Fastball outside, ball 3.
Well, the way Cepeda's been hitting, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe this is another thing that Mayo Smith was talking to Wilson about, not to give Maris anything too good to hit and not really worry too much if he walks him, because he'll then have the chance for the double play.
Also because Roger Maris has been in 6 World Series, and he's hit 6 home runs, so he's tough, and they did not want him to swing that bat there. So here comes Mayo Smith out of the dugout.
That's the 6th walk given up by Earl Wilson, and I don't think the Tiger manager is going to go any further with him. And Wilson is peeved with himself that he didn't show better stuff, and he's not going to get a chance to show any more stuff today. He's coming out. And Pat Dobson, a right-hander, is going to take over here in relief. He'll inherit a situation with Flood at second base, Maris at first, 1 man out, Orlando Cepeda coming up. Cardinals 1-4-0 on the totals and trailing in the game as the Tigers have 2-2-0. Pat Dobson into the contest.
Well, we're in the top half of the 5th inning. We have runners on first and second. Flood down at second. Roger Maris on at first. 1 run already in Lou Brock. There's 1 away. Orlando Cepeda, the hitter, the new pitcher, Pat Dobson. He is now checking with Bill Freehan for his sign. Flood moves off second. Roger Maris about 3 steps off first. Moves up a little bit. Here's the pitch. Fastball. Foul tip, strike 1. Now, Jack, you and I were talking about Orlando Cepeda, about the trouble he's been having this year. I don't think he hits that ball out to right center and right field with power like he used to. Looks to me like he's trying to pull that ball.
All right, that's where he lost the points on his batting average after being the most valuable player in the National League last year.
No balls, 1 strike. Cepeda. Fastball. He caught him looking. 2 strikes on him.
You know, from a Tiger viewpoint, he's a good man to have up there with regard to the double play, Pee-wee. Because he doesn't run as fast as some, and he hits the ball sharply. But Dobson might get out of this inning.
Talking about the double play. Defensively for the Tigers, Cash at first. McAuliffe at second. Stanley at short. Don Ward at third. Pat Dobson shakes his head. Didn't want that one. Now Bill Freehan gives him it over. He looks back at Flood, and here's the pitch. Fastball, it's popped up. Bill Freehan flips it, masked away from. Takes it to foul territory for out number 2.
He got a big man, and we were talking about the fact that he was in his first World Series game, baby. It didn't bother him, did it?
Doesn't seem to me like he's nervous at all. Well, he got one tough man out. Orlando Cepeda still has one more to go in Tim McCarver, the catcher. He flat out to center field, got a base hit in the 4th inning. Was thrown out trying to steal third on a double steal. Dobson, here's the pitch. Fastball, inside, ball 1.
Reese, you called the turn on Wilson. They gave Dobson some extra warm-up pitches because Wilson departed with a physical ailment. We'll have to get more details on that later on.
Kurt Flood on at second. Roger Maris on at first. It's 2 away. We're in the top half of the 5th inning. And the Cardinals trail 2-1. Tim McCarver with that closed stance of his. Dobson looks back at Flood. Here's the pitch. Ball hit out into left field. That ball could be trouble. Look out, it's going foul. Kurt Flood going back to second. Roger Maris back to first. Roger Maris, who does not have too much speed, trying to get a real good jump off of first. Tim McCarver. The count of 1 ball and 1 strike on him. Pat Dobson in relief of Earl Wilson. Taking a little time, trying to get out of this jam. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball fouled off the right over in the Cardinal dugout. Makes the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Dobson, up to this point, this little pressure kettle here has looked kind of cool. He's ahead of Tim McCarver right now. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's 2 away. Willie Harton moved a little bit over toward the left field line. Jim Northrup playing him straight away in center field. Al Kaline stopped straight away in right field. McCarver backs out of there. Stan Landis calls time. Now then McCarver backs out of there again. Now then Dobson wants Freehan to give the sign again. He's already forgotten what he was supposed to throw. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He looks at Bud. Here's the pitch. Curveball in the dirt. Makes the count 2-2. At home plate right now, you could be seeing 2 of the finest catchers in baseball. Tim McCarver, the hitter, and Bill Freehan doing the catching. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. 2 men on. Dobson looks at Bud. Here's the pitch. Ball hit out in the right field. Al Kaline going back. That ball could be gone. It's a home run for Tim McCarver. With the count 2-2 on Tim McCarver, and what a greeting he's getting in that Cardinals dugout. Flood on at second, Maris on at first, and it looked to me, Jack, like that was a pretty good pitch. It looked to me like it was about 6 inches off the ground, and McCarver lifted that ball right into right field seat.
Right, it was that, Pee Wee. We got a good look at it, and I'm sure that Dobson will say it was a good pitch until it was hit. Shannon up there now, and the first pitch to him was a ball, but McCarver went down and got that ball, and he lofted it into the upper deck. off the line, maybe 50 feet. And that's this ballpark for you.
The Cardinals, all of a sudden, after trailing 2-0, are on top 4-2. Ball hit hard off stops and a base hit out in the center field. Jim Northrup up with the ball, making it turn at first. Mike Shannon. We still have Don McMahon, the veteran relief pitcher, bowling in the bullpen of the Tigers. The hitter right now is Javier. He's walked and he's struck out. Dobson's first pitch to him, a fastball, swung on a miss, strike one.
The last series home run that McCarver hit was a very historic one in World Series play, Billy.
Yeah, it certainly was. That was in 1964 against the Yankees with 2 men on in the 10th inning. That's a pretty good spot. He had quite a series then, didn't he, Jack?
He surely did. That home run won one of the 3 games that Gibson won in 1964.
One ball, one strike on Javier. 2 away. Dobson in the relief of Earl Wilson as he had to leave the ball game. I think because of a full muscle in his right leg. Mike Shannon on at first. Here's the pitch. Foul straight back. Strike 2. Tomorrow, Sunday, it will be Bob Gibson against Denny McLean. Gibson, who set a World Series strikeout record in the first game, striking out 17. He's going against Denny McLean, who won 31 games during the regular season. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Javier. Shannon moves off first. Little low and outside, ball 2. So Dobson coming in here with 1 away. Quickly got rid of Orlando Cepeda, big 4th place hitter. Got ahead of McCarver. Then he ran the count 2-2, but McCarver hit a home run in the right field seat. There's a fly ball out of the center field. Should be no trouble for Jim Northrup. And that's all for Javier, and that's all for the Cardinals. But they came up with 4 big runs during the top half of the 5th inning. So after 4 1/2 innings of play, it's the Cardinals 4 and the Tigers 2.
We're at Tiger Stadium going into the Tiger 5th inning, and the Cardinals are out in front of Detroit by the score of 4-2. In the Cardinal 5th inning, Washburn struck out. Brock singled, stole his 3rd base of the ball game. A double by Flood sent him home. The first Cardinal run, making it 2-1 for Kaline had homered in the 3rd inning with a man on. When Maris walked, Earl Wilson departed. Pat Dobson came in, got Cepeda. McCarver hit the 3-run homer. Shannon singled. Javier flied out to end the 5th. 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 1 left. Cardinals have left 6 men, and the Tigers have left 2. Tigers bat in the bottom of the 5th. McMahon still throwing in the bullpen, indicating they might have a pinch hitter after Don Wirt. And here again, Pee Wee Reese.
Thank you, Jack. Wirt leading things off for the Tigers in the bottom half of the 5th inning. The first pitch by Ray Washburn is too high, ball 1. And as Jack told you, we may see a pinch hitter for Pat Dobson here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Mayo Smith may want to go to Don McMahon, the veteran relief pitcher for the Tigers. He jammed him with that one. Javier, he didn't see the ball. He put it on a shot hop, but he still threw him out. Looking out at Javier. He's holding his glove up in front of his face, and now then, Cepeda has gone in to get the sunglasses.
Now they want the sunglasses after the horse almost got out of the barn. The ball was hit off the end of the bat, and a broken bat pop fly by Don Wirt. Javier broke back on it and then had to come in and field it on the short hop and throw to Cepeda for the out. And now we're going to have a pinch hitter. Tom Matchett is going to bat for Dobson, and McMahon will pitch the 6th inning to the Cardinals.
For a minute, I thought I'd lost the base runner. I thought he was trapping the ball. Jack?
I thought I lost my eyesight for a while when he broke back on it. We had a better look at it than he did.
We were not looking in the sun. Ray Washburn pitching to pinch hitter Tom Matching. A swing and a miss, strike one. This little fellow a couple of years ago in spring training hit about 478, did not make the club. Last year he did not have a good spring training and he made the club. Curveball swung on and fouled down the first baseline over Coach Wally Moses' head. Strike two.
Magic hit one of the most dramatic home runs during the year for the Tigers, the pinch hitter, in extra innings against the Baltimore Orioles in one of their key games when the Orioles and Tigers were really going at it.
Yes, sir, Jack, I was here. It was on a Friday night, and I saw the game. Two-strike pitch. Fastball and a good one. High and inside, ball one. The Tigers have 2 runs on only 2 hits. A home run by Al Kaline. The Cardinals have 4 runs on 6 hits. Fastball inside. Ball 2. So quickly, after getting 2 strikes on Matchik, Washburn comes back with 2 balls, trying to get that fastball high and inside on Matchik. McCarver giving the sign. Washburn staring down. He's ready. Curveball, too low, ball 3.
Although Washburn is ahead in the game 4-2 here in the 5th inning and has allowed only 2 hits, his control is not nearly as good as we've seen him display in the past. And he's upset with himself that he's not getting the ball over.
3-2 pitch on its way, and he struck him out. That's the 3rd strikeout for Ray Washburn. And that's the same pitch that Washburn threw Matchik after he got 2 quick strikes on him. He had to go to 3-2 before he finally got Matchik to swing at it. So that makes 2 away. Brings up Tim McDonough. Dick McDonough, sorry. Got a base hit in the 3rd inning. Fastball too high, ball 1. Tomorrow it'll be Gibson against Denny McLean. Game time, 12:45 p.m. right here at Tiger City. Hope you can be with us. Curveball in there for call strike 1. And that's the way Washburn pitches. He mixes the pitches up. Curveballs, sliders, occasional fastballs, high and tight. He never gives in to the hitter. Here's the 1-1 pitch. A good swing, foul tip, hit McCarver right in the mask. Kind of shook him up a little bit. Yes, sir, game time tomorrow will be 1 o'clock. We come on the air at 12:45 Eastern Daylight Time. Ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Fastball just missing. Makes the count 2-2. If you've noticed, Washburn getting ahead of the hitters, then trying to make them go for that bad pitch. Curveball way out for the home plate.
A thrilling moment. A day game out at Candlestick Park on the 18th of September when we saw Washburn throw that no-hitter against the Giants right after Gaylord Perry had pitched one the night before.
Back to back. Here's the 3-2 pitch. That ball hits hard out of the right field. That ball is gone way up in the upper deck in right field. With 2 away, the count 3-2 on McDonough, who has good power. He hit 16 home runs for the year, and that is good. for a leadoff man. Hit a fastball and hit it hard. Mickey Stanley. Curveball in there for call strike one. So the Tigers make it 4-3. Kaline's home run in the third inning. Now McAuliffe hit one here in the bottom of the fifth. Fastball too high. Ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 away.
Well, the Tigers, we have hit 5 home runs in the last 2 games after being blanked by Bob Gibson. They're everything that people said they were, aren't they?
Yes, they are. 1 ball, 1 strike on Stanley. Fastball too high. Ball 2. Red Shandy's moving around in that Cardinal dugout. 2 ball, 1 strike pitch. Curveball just got the outside corner. 2-2. Now we see some fellows going down to the bullpen.
Ron Willis, right-hander, is going to warm up for St. Louis.
Curveball just missed. Just a little bit outside, makes the count 3-2. So Ray Washburn went to 3-2 on Magic, struck him out. 3-2 on McAuliffe. He hit a home run. He's now 3-2 on Mickey Stanley. Here's ready. Here's the pitch. Curveball. High inside, foul back.
Steve Carlton, a left-hander. Ron Willis, a right-hander, throwing in the Cardinal bullpen. And Don McMahon, the right-hander for Detroit, getting ready to come into the game in the 6th.
Hits a lot of balls in the right field. He's capable of hitting home run. He had 11 home runs on the year. Ball hit off of Washburn's shoe over to Cepeda, and he stepped on the bag and takes it himself. Tough break for Mickey Stanley, but that's all for Stanley and all for the Tigers here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. They scored 1 run. So the score after 5 full innings, the Cardinals 4 and the Tigers 3. Seconds for station identification.
We're at Tiger Stadium. The score 4-3, an action-packed 3rd game of the 1968 World Series. We're going to the 6th inning. Don McMahon comes in to pitch, and Pee Wee Reese will tell you about him. In that Tiger 5th inning, Ray Washburn got the first 2, including the pinch hitter Tom Magic. And then Dick McAuliffe hit a home run. It was his 2nd base hit of the ball game. Then Stanley rapped one back to the mound that surely would have been a base hit, but it was off Washburn's shins and bounced right over to Cepeda for the out. That would have been interesting, Pee Wee, with Stanley on base and Kaline, who had homered earlier, coming up to the plate, representing the lead run. It would have been more excitement, but Stanley got a tough break on the ball. And now, how about McMahon? We've known him for a long time, haven't we?
Yes. In fact, I hit against this fellow. I'm not saying that he's that old or I'm that young or what
Well,
it is.
he's 38.
Don McMahon, he's 38 years old. This is his 8th series game. 6 of them he played with the Braves in 1957-58. But this is his first game of this series. On the year he had 5-2 record and a good earned run average, 1.98. Well, the Tigers trail 4-3. We're in the top half of the 6th inning. Dal Maxwell, the first hitter for the Cardinals. Don McMahon's first pitch to Maxwell, a fastball, low and outside, ball 1. Off the right side of the infield. McAuliffe up at the ball, flips the ball over to Cash, and that's all for Maxwell. When I hit against Don McMahon, who's now pitching for the Tigers, he was primarily a fastball pitcher and had a good one. But I understand now that he throws a sinker quite a bit. Keeps the ball down. Still has a good fastball. Ray Washburn, the pitcher for the Cardinals, the hitter. grounded out and struck out. This is his third time up. McMahon into the windup. Here's the pitch. Fastball, high and inside, ball one. McMahon, the pitch. Ball hit out into right field. Al Kaline puts down his glasses right there and takes it for out number 2. He relieved Denny McLean in the first game. Now here he is in the third game, pitching to Lou Brock with 2 away. That ball in there for call strike 1. Brock has walked, single in the third, single in the fifth, and every time he's been on, he's stolen a base. Fastball in there, call strike 2. We've talked about it so much, even before the series started. And Jack Buck, who has seen this fellow for so many times, he must keep this man off of the sacks and expect to beat this Cardinal ball club.
I think it's worthwhile pointing out that the Cardinals didn't score in this game until Brock got on base for the third time in that 5th inning.
He really motivates this ball club. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Brock. Can he score around? Yes, sir. He struck him out. He foul-tipped the ball, Landis says. And that's all for Brock, and that's all for the Cardinals here in the top half of the 6th inning. After 5.5 innings of play, it's the Cardinals 4 and the Tigers 3.
To the bottom of the 6th inning, the Tigers have made 3 runs on 3 hits. They've hit 2 home runs. 1 by Kaline with a man on, 1 by McAuliffe. Cardinals have made 4 runs on 6 hits and lead 4-3. 3 of the runs on a home run by McCarver, and a lot of noise as Al Kaline steps in, and you hear from Pee Wee Reed.
Okay, Jack, bottom half of the 6th inning. Al Kaline stepping in there. He'll be followed by Norm Cash and Willie Hartley. Wide out to left, and hit a home run in the left field seat in the 3rd inning with McAuliffe on. Washburn in the wind-up to kick. Fastball high and outside. As Kaline made a bluff to bunt as Shannon was about 4 steps in back of the bag. I don't think he really wants to. He just wants to get Shannon in a little bit more. Shannon does move in. Fastball in there for call strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike on Al Kaline. Here's a fellow that's never played in the minor leagues. Came up as a youngster at 18 years old. Been with this club for 16 years, and a dandy he is. Pitches outside, ball 2. And this is one of the reasons that Dale Smith put Mickey Stanley at shortstop to get this fellow in the lineup. And that bat of his, and he's used it. Little tap, but Maxwell will have to hurry. The flip over to Cepeda, and they just nipped Kaline at first base.
Maybe this is the time of day, and it's some 6 minutes past 3 o'clock when those shadows about halfway between the pitcher's mound and home plate make it really difficult for the hitter. Which is not to say that there's not going to be any hitting, but whatever they do accomplish with the bat will be against some additional odds.
You are right. Norm Cash is a hitter. He's 0 for 2 today. Washburn, the kick, the pitch. Fastball, high and inside. Ball 1. Run away. Cepeda on it. Down at first base is just about on that foul line. He is really guarding that first base line. Her ball. Low and outside, ball 2. The Tigers scored 2 in the 3rd. 1 in the 5th for their 3 runs. And the Cardinals scored 4 in the top half of the 5th. Swinging a foul off the right.
I think you'd have to say that Washburn is ahead in this game, 4-3, without his best pitch. The changeup curveball just hasn't been getting in the strike zone for him.
2 balls, 1 strike on non-cash. Here's the pitch. Fastball outside. Ball 3. Well, non-cash, Jack, is a very good fastball hitter. Let's see if Washington will throw in the curveball or the fastball here with the count 3-1 on it. Cash had 25 home runs during the season. Boy, what a ripple he had at that fastball. I bet he'd like to have that one back.
Dick Cruz, a right-hander, warming up for St. Louis. About to be joined by another pitcher, Joe Horner, left-hander.
3-2 pitch. Foul back. The count remains 3-2. Joe Horner, a left-hander, and Dick Hughes, a right-hander. Warming up in the Cardinal bullpen. No action in the Tiger bullpen. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Curveball, did he? Started and held up. It's too low. You can hear the fans calling on Wonderful Willie here, Willie Hart. Stepping in that batter's box, they give him a hand, and I guess Billy Muppet, the pitching coach for the Cardinals, saw Willie come up there and he wanted to say a few words to his pitcher, Ray Washburn. McCarver's out there talking to him, too. They could be giving Horner and Dick Hughes a chance. I'm sure that they're going to take him out. Well, no, there goes Muppet now. He's going back. McCarver coming back behind the plate. Just want to slow him down a little bit. Maybe remind him how to pitch for this fellow. Willie Hart, what's he done today? He's walked and grounded out. One away. Norm Cash on at first. The Tigers trail in this game 4-3. And the power hitter up there, Willie Horton. Here's the pitch. Fastball. Too high. And Willie is the fellow that got the Tigers started over in St. Louis as he hit a home run for the first run for the Tigers. There's a ground foul down the third baseline. Coming back to first base, Norm Cash. 1 ball, 1 strike on Willie Hart. It's 1 away. Mike Shannon playing a couple of steps off the line. Maxwell straight away for Harton. Javier pulled over towards second, and Cepeda at first base holding Norm Cash on. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Outside ball 2. The next hitter is Jim Northrup. And notice Horner, the left-hander, is throwing a little bit harder and a little bit faster down in that bullpen. So don't be surprised if Horton gets on here. We may see Joe Horner come in this ball game. 2 balls, 1 strike on Willie Horton. Norm Cash on at first, taking a short lead. Washburn looks over there. Here's the pitch. He starts, checks his swing. It's outside. 3-1. Well, with the count 3-1, Willie Horton checked with his coach, Tony Cuccinella, down at third, and I'm sure he has the green light if it's his pitch that he likes. Here's the pitch. It's too high. Ball 4. Here comes Billy Muppet, the pitching coach for the Cardinals. And that will be all for Ray Washburn. So both pitchers who started this game, Earl Wilson, but the Tigers, he's no longer around. We've seen two since he left the game, Pat Dobson and Don McMahon. Now then, Ray Washburn, the starter for the Cardinals. He has been taken out, and they're bringing in the left-hander, Joe Horner.
Joe Horner comes into the ball game. This is his second series appearance. He worked in the 8-1 Mickey Lolich Tiger victory and hit a very unusual wild streak for Horner. He usually displays good control coming in out of the bullpen. But he pitched only one inning and he walked 3 men. The runs were not charged to Joe. He's the ace relief man of the St. Louis Cardinals, and he'll be faced with a tough hitter in Jim Northrup, a left-handed batter. Dick Hughes continues to throw down in the bullpen. Don McMahon is the pitcher as of the moment for the Tigers, who trail by only a run. They have the tying run on at second base. That's Cash. And the potential lead run on at first base in the person of Willie Horton. Now Larry Jaster, another left-hander, takes the place of Horner in the Cardinal bullpen. Horner used to be in the Houston organization, was drafted by the Cardinals. He's been invaluable to them the past couple of years. And he's capable of working 4 or 5 days a week out of that bullpen. He just cut loose with a wild pitch that caught the attention of the Tiger fans. One like that would really hurt St. Louis.
You think he may be throwing that for effect with Jim Northrup sending it back close to home plate?
I think the trouble he had the other day, Thursday, Pee Wee, Joe's just happy to get the ball over. He has a good slider, good fastball. He's not particularly adept at keeping the runners close to the base, and the left-handers get pretty good cuts at him, too. So he depends on putting the ball in certain spots, notably with that slider.
Well, talking about the base runners, I don't think that'll be too much of a problem to him right now. As Norm Cash is on at second and Willie Horton on at first, they do not have too much speed, and they're not in the habit of trying to steal base. So he won't have to worry about that. Joe Hunter comes a little bit sidearm. He keeps that ball away from the left-hand hitter. He could be a little tough. It's one away. Runners on first and second. The bottom half of the sixth inning, Horner in relief of Ray Washburn. Here's his first pitch. Fastball just got that outside corner. Strike one. Most of these pitchers, or most pitchers today, try to keep that ball away from the hitters. What you get hurt on is that ball on the inside part of that plate. Here's the pitch. And a foul straight back, strike two. So quickly, Horner gets on top of Jim Northrup. And as Jack was telling you the other day he came in, he couldn't find the plate. Norm Cash on at second. Willie Horton on at first. Bill Freehand in the on-deck circle. 2 strikes on Jim Northrup. Horner is ready. Looks back at Cash. Here's a pitch. A little lazy pop-up. It'll be an infield fly rule. Javier takes it. Northrup is automatically out. And he really jammed him with that one, Jack.
As he broke the bat right off in the hands of Northrup. And he got the left-handed batter. Now he has to get the right-handed batter. Meanwhile, Bill Freehand, who's walked and flied to left in this game, is up there looking for his first series hit. He's 0 for 7. And what a spot this would be for the base knock as far as the Tigers are concerned.
And this is a fellow that they have called so many times as Tiger Ball Club as their leader. He led the Tigers in game played in '68 and a catcher, 155. Kind of unusual. The first pitch to Bill Freehand is high and outside, ball one.
Well, the St. Louis catcher, Tim McCarver, hit a 3-run homer with 2 men out. Now the Tiger catcher, Bill Freehand, is up in a comparable spot.
The Tigers trail 4-3. Bill Freehand, a A count of 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the pitch. Fastball outside. Ball 2. The next hitter, Don Wirt. Jaster. Left-hander throwing in the bullpen along with Dick Hughes for the Cardinals. The 2-0 pitch to Bill Freehand. There's a ball hit out in the left field, but it's going foul. And about this time, knowing Bill Freehand, I imagine he's a little bit anxious right now. He would like to get that first base hit, kind of break the ice. He does not have a base hit in this series, as Jack told you. 0 for 7. He's walked a couple times. Horner taking a little time. 2 balls and 1 strike. He's ready. Here's the pitch. Foul straight back. 2-2. They play Freehand the pull. Maris over toward right center. Flood over in left center, and Lou Brock toward the left field line. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. 2 men on. Cash at second, Horton first. Horner sets, looks back at Cash. Here's the pitch. Another foul. Straight back.
Horner with a count of 2 strikes on him. Got that ball away, and Freehand was thinking right with him, Pee Wee. He wasn't going to play into his hands and try to pull the ball. He was going the other way, just trying for the base hit.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Cash taking a sharp lead at second. He'll come up with the pitch. Now he moves up a little bit. So does Hart. Here's the pitch. There's a ball hit out in the left field. That ball will be caught by Lou Brock, close to the foul line and close to the fence. And that's all for Freehand, and that's all for the Tigers here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. So after a full 6 innings, it's the Cardinals 4 and the Tigers 3. Half the 7th inning. And of course, all you people know now, working with me today, Jack Buck. He's been with the Cardinals since 1954. And he knows his baseball. In fact, I've even seen him work out with the Cardinals. It's a pleasure working with him. Come on back in here, Jack.
Okay, Pee Wee, quite a ball game. The Cardinal totals at the end of 6 innings are 4, 6, and 0. And the Tiger totals are 3, 3, and 0. We're going to watch Don McMahon, the third Detroit hurler of the day. Don Wilson started. 3 runs were charged to Wilson in the ball game, 1 to Pat Dobson. Don McMahon came on in the 6th and set the Cardinals down in order. He'll pitch to Flood, Maris, and Cepeda as we go into the late stages of the game. We start the 7th inning. Flood drove in the first Cardinal run. He walked, he fouled out, and he doubled in the 5th inning and drove home a run. First pitch to Flood. Right-handed batter taps it foul as McMahon, the right-hander, made his first pitch. Strike 1. Gibson and McLean tomorrow. 1 o'clock starting time, Eastern Daylight Time, and broadcast time 12:45. Be a lot to talk to you about tomorrow with those two working. The next delivery to Flood is on the way, and he swings in a fly ball to right center field, and that's an extra base hit, maybe. It is cut off by Kaline. Flood's trying for 2, now goes back to first. Flood started for second, turned around, and came back. As Kaline got to the ball, and Flood, fearful of his arm, got about almost halfway to second and came back. The throw was a little bit offline. It would have been close.
I would say that Flood had ideas, but then he remembered how Kaline could throw, and Kaline did throw it, but Flood may have had a chance if he had kept going.
Flood's on at first. There was nobody out here in the 7th inning, and Roger Maris is the batter against McMahon. That's the first hit off McMahon, the second hit for Flood in the game. Maris has struck out and walked twice and scored a run. He has hitting room through the right side. A half swing and a pop fly might drop for a base hit. It does. An extra base hit. Flood heads for third, Maris for second, and he has a pop fly double with nobody out. What a bad break for McMahon. A half swing, a check swing by Maris, got the heavy end of the bat on the ball, and it dropped well beyond the reach of Don Word at third base. And the Cardinals have men at second and third, nobody out. Cepeda the batter, and Mayo Smith out of the dugout, Pee-wee. Bad break for Detroit.
Well, Jack, those are the kind of hits that really break a pitcher's back. You can see when that ball was hit, McMahon, the look on his face. And on Don Word's face, that he knew at third base that he had no chance to get it. And Flood on at first, who can fly, had no trouble coming into third. And Maris, he decided he could make two. And Stanley made a play for him at second base, but not in time. So now that we have runners on second and third, and the Tigers are back in trouble.
Tigers have two pitchers who just started to throw down in the bullpen. I doubt that either one of them would be ready at this point. Darrell Patterson is a right-hander warming up, and John Hiller is southpaws alongside, and Mayo Smith takes a little time out there on the mound to give the bullpen core time to get ready. But McMahon will stay in there and pitch to Cepeda, who's 0 for 3 in the ballgame. Runners at second and third, nobody out. Seventh inning, Cardinals already leading 4-3 in the ballgame, and the Tigers are in a jam. McMahon will work off the full windup. The Tiger infield comes in, trying for the play at the plate on Flood. In the event of a ground ball, outfield deep to the left for Cepeda. The windup by McMahon. Swung on, and there's a drive to left field. It might be gone. It is a 3-run home run for Cepeda. Who's been waiting for a big hit in World Series play, blasted a 3-run homer, the second Cardinal 3-run homer of the afternoon, and the score amounts to 7-3.
Well, Cepeda, as we said before, has had not too much luck in the series, but when he came in at home plate there, Jack, you saw him, and we did, he just took one big leap and dived on that home plate, and you can see how happy he was. And in that dugout over there, we're looking right in there, and they're having a ball. A big hit by Cepeda.
Cardinals now lead the Tigers by the score of 7-3, and we've had 4 home runs in the game. McCarver a 3-run homer, Cepeda a 3-run homer, Flood has the other RBI. Al Kaline for Detroit a 2-run homer in the third, and Dick McAuliffe a bases empty home run in the fifth. So all of the Tiger runs have been accounted for with home runs. And into the ball game comes the right-hander, Darrell Patterson, to become the 4th Tiger pitcher of the day. And as he warms up, we pause 30 seconds for station identification.
This is WJR in Detroit.
This is Willie Horton. Keep air in your home clean and healthy this winter with the humidifier properly installed by a member of the Better Heating and Cooling Bureau.
Start your day with the bright sound of WJR's Music Hall program, hosted by J.P. McCarthy. J.P. opens each weekday morning at 6 and continues until 9. Along the way, he may talk to anyone from a computer to a commuter, all light and easy to listen to. J.P. McCarthy and Music Hall, 6 to 9 weekdays on WJR.
Well, a big 7th inning here for the Cardinals. And there's no one out. And they have scored 3 runs. A single by Flood, a bloop double, a check swing by Roger Maris down at left field line, and a home run by Orlando Cepeda.
You know, the big thing about that pop double by Maris, Pee-wee, is the fact that it didn't give Mayo Smith a chance to get anybody ready in the bullpen. Or even had he wanted someone other than McMahon to pitch to Cepeda, he just didn't have time to get anybody ready.
It happened pretty fast, didn't it?
It surely did, and I imagine that Mayo was wishing that he had a couple of more minutes to get Patterson ready. Only now was Patterson ready, and he comes in to pitch to the left-handed batter, McCarver. Flood's base hit was a solid base knock. And then the double by Roger Maris, a pop fly on a check swing, fair by about 5 feet, well beyond third base for a double. Now Darrell Patterson, a hard-throwing right-hander, into the contest. Nobody on as he takes over. And McCarver, Shannon, and Javier will be coming up. The Cardinals have pounded out 9 hits and made 7 runs. Tigers 3 runs on 3 hits, and there have been no errors in the game. We're in the 7th. McCarver is flied out, singled, and hit a 3-run homer. Patterson, 6'4", 200-pounder from Toll House, California. 1-2 and lost 3 during the regular season. Earned run average of 2.12, which is quite good for a relief pitcher. His first pitch is low inside to McCarver, left-handed batter, ball one. Well, I'm sure as the folks heard and read everything they did with regard to the series, I heard some people say they thought the Cardinals would do some hitting as well as the Tigers in this part. There's a high pop fly on the infield by McCarver. That'll be the first out of the inning. Don Wirt behind the pitcher's mound has it for the out. McCarver pops out. He's 2 for 4, and the hitter is Shannon.
Well, that was the first home run for Orlando Cepeda in his 15th series game. Jack, I'd just like to say one thing about this young pitcher on the mound out there right now, Darrell Patterson. If there's anyone that can come close to Bob Gibson's fastball, this young fellow has it. He has a real good fastball, and it tails in on right-handed hitters.
Pitches to Shannon, and he jams him a ground ball to third. Fair ball fielded by Wirt. Low throw, but out as Cash came up with the play. Don Wirt made a good play, charging in on the slow roller by Shannon. Threw the ball in the dirt, and Cash helped him out. And there are 2 gone. Most people talk about Cash because they know about his hitting, Pee-wee, but he's led the American League in fielding many times. He's good with that glove.
Yes, he is. They kid him every once in a while. They call him old.
And takes the pitch low. Ball one. Cepeda charging in from first base. Shannon has to sort of stop and go at third. There's a bunt toward third, fielded by Shannon. He'll go to first base. To Javier covering. It's a sacrifice by Orla. K-line to third. And on to second goes Cash. Well, the Tigers have runners at second and third. 1 man out, and the batter will be Northrup.
He's good with that glove.
Yes, he is. They kid him every once in a while. They call him old Iron Glove and say it's made by AMF. But he is a good fielder. If he gets his hands on that ball, he comes up with it.
Patterson has retired the first 2, and he takes on Javier now with the bases empty. Cooley takes the ball in the dirt. Ball one. We're in the top half of the 7th inning, and the Tigers are going to have to come from behind if they're going to win this 3rd game of the series. They trail 7-3. They'll have the tail end of their batting order up in the 7th with Don Wirt due to lead off, and then Patterson. The pitch to Javier. High, and that's ball 2. Javier is 0 for 2 in the game with a walk. Patterson is the 4th Tiger pitcher. Wilson allowed 3 runs, Dobson 1, and McMahon 3. Washburn worked less than 6 innings, gave 3 runs, 3 hits, struck out 3 and walked 4 for St. Louis. 2-0 to Javier. Into the windup, the right-hander fires, swung on, and tapped foul past third base. Joe Schultz coaching there. Joe Schultz, Cardinal coach, most likely will be going to Seattle next year to manage the new franchise in the American League. Turns out, Pee-wee, that Joe Schultz was a bat boy for Tony Cuccinello in 1928. They've been around a while. That was in Danville, Illinois. The pitch to Javier, swung on, fly ball center field. Northrup broke back, came in, almost slipped under the ball, and has it for the out. Javier flies to center. 3 runs on 3 hits, 7th inning stretch time. The score: the Cardinals 7, the Tigers 3.
We're going into the bottom half of the 7th inning, and the Tigers better make their move. The first hitter will be Don Wirt, and of course trailing by a score of 7-3. Mayo Smith probably hates to take out Darrell Patterson after he looks so sharp there, but they'll have to try to get back in this ball game. And I see in the on-deck circle a young fellow by the name of Wayne Comer in the on-deck circle. They've called him back now. I was just wondering, Joe Hunter, as a rule, if I remember correctly, does not pitch too many innings, does he? He's a short man, but like 1 or 2 innings, he has 2 more innings to go, or 3 more innings to go.
You're right, Pee-wee. He's usually in there only for a couple of innings at the tail end of a ball game. He's already pitched 2/3 of an inning, and if he's to finish this game, he'll have more than 3 innings to work. So we shall see. He faces a right-handed batter, Don Wirt. Corner a left-hander. Wirt is 0 for 2. First pitch is over but low, ball 1. We're in the Tigers' seventh, and St. Louis leads Detroit 7-3. Tigers led at one time with a score of 2-0. The pitch from Horner to Wirt, swung on and missed, and it's 1-1. Wirt is fanned and grounded out. We have a pinch hitter waiting on deck, Wayne Comer, an outfielder, Comer. Looks like he'll be hitting for Patterson. Horner brings it to the plate on 1-1. It's a strike called at the knees on the outside corner, and the Cardinal left-hander is out in front of Don Wirt, 1-2. McLean and Gibson tomorrow. We hope you'll tune us in again. 1 o'clock game time here in Detroit. Broadcast time 12:45 Eastern Daylight. The pitch, low inside, 2-2. It'll be Wirt, Comer, and then McAuliffe. Horner walked off the pitcher's mound so that he could wet his fingers. Now goes into the windup. Wirt takes it, ball 3. And Horner thought he had strike 3, and McCarver is really upset with the call. The pitch was down around the knees on the inside corner, and the count runs to 3-2. Hiller warming up in the bullpen. The left-hander will be the next Tiger pitcher. 3-2 on the leadoff hitter. Tigers would like to get him on. Foul out of play. Into the upper deck. Now bouncing downstairs. The attendance here today in Tiger Stadium, Detroit, 53,634, very comparable to the crowds at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Horner with a 3-2 pitch coming. Wirt swings, fly ball, right field. Maris coming in, got a good jump on the ball, makes an easy catch, and there's one out. Maris saw that ball all the way, so evidently the sun in right field is not too difficult, Pee-wee.
No, I think it's moved around a little bit now. It shouldn't give him any problem. Of course, Roger Maris is always noted for his home run power, but seeing this fellow play numerous times with the Yankees, he is a good outfielder. I see we have a little action down in the bullpen with the Cardinals now. Dick Hughes is back up, and so is Steve Carlton, a left-hander.
Wayne Comer, the batter. This fellow had one home run during the regular season, a right-handed hitter. He takes a fastball high from Horner, ball 1. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning, and the Cardinals lead Detroit by the score of 7-3. Third game of the series. The next delivery, swung on, base hit into center field off the bat of Comer. He comes off the bench to single here with one out. And the Tiger fans make some noise. Here's Dick McAuliffe, who got a home run in the 5th inning and already has 2 hits in the game, and he is 5 out of 12 in the series.
Well, it doesn't surprise me too much, Jack. This fellow, I've watched him all year, and he likes this sharp right field fence. And if he gets his pitch, he's got as much power as anyone on this ball club.
He's facing a left-hander for the first time today. A lead by Comer off of first base. The pitch. Strike called. Horner gets out in front. With the Cardinals leading by 4 runs, Cepeda is not holding the runner close with a left-handed batter at the plate. McAuliffe drove in 2 runs against Steve Carlton, a left-hander, in the second game Thursday in St. Louis. The pitch coming, and it's swung on and fouled back and out of play. That's strike 2. I imagine, Peavy, that with McAuliffe's hitting stance, that wide open style he employs, he gets a pretty good look at the southpaw.
Yes, he does. His right foot, they've compared him so many times to a great hitter who used to be with the New York Giants, Mel Ott. His right foot kind of goes in the butt a little bit, because you notice he keeps those hips in there. That's the reason he gets all that power. It's tough for him to hit that outside pitch.
The delivery, high, way high. Ball 1. 1-2 as Horner wasted a pitch. McAuliffe wanted the umpire to check the baseball. Stan Landis does so. It stays in play. Runner at first base, Comer, 1 out. 7th inning. 7-3. Tigers trailing. Steve Carlton, a left-hander. Dick Hughes, a right-hander in the Cardinal bullpen. Hiller watching the action from the Tiger bullpen. A lead by the runner. And the pitch. McAuliffe swings, pops it up in the infield. That'll be the second out. Javier into the outfield grass. Has it. 2 men gone. McAuliffe pops out, and the hitter is Mickey Stanley, who is 0 for 3 in the ballgame. He was robbed of a base hit back in the 5th inning when his smack back up the middle hit the pitcher Washburn on the leg and bounced over to the first baseman for an out. It's 7-3, and Stanley could make it close if he could grab one here. Homer at first, 2 out. Horner looks to first base and pitches. Way high outside, ball 1. In the Cardinal 8th inning, it'll be the tail end of the batting order, Maxville and the pitcher. And then Lou Brock. Wirt started this inning with a fly ball to right, caught by Maris. Homer came off the bench and singled. McAuliffe popped out. Stanley takes it high, ball 2. Mickey Stanley playing shortstop. They put Stanley in a class with regard to his center fielding with Willie Mays, Kurt Flood, Jim Pearsall, and all of the other good ones that you can name during the past decade or so. On 2-0, he'll be gunning. He takes it high, ball 3. McCarver to the mound to talk to his pitcher. Al Kaline is waiting on deck, and the Tiger fans could have something to cheer about in this inning.
Yes, they could. He hit a home run in the 3rd inning. And this fellow, he didn't play a whole lot this year. He had a lot of injuries, Kaline did, but he had 10 home runs. And he is capable of putting the Tigers right back in this ball game. And as you know, Jack, the Tigers have pulled a lot of ball games out of the fire from the 7th inning on into the 9th.
That's been their trademark. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and Stanley takes a strike, 3-1. He was taking all the way with the Tigers trailing by 4 runs. The score is 7-3 here in the 7th inning. Homer at first, 2 out. Horner is ready, delivers on 3-1, and it's ball 4. Inning gave up his first hit after he bailed Washburn out in the 6th inning. Now issues his first walk, and so the Tigers have been given 5 bases on balls today. And the Cardinals have been given 6 walks. Still a big part of this contest. Al Kaline, the batter, flied to left, hit a 2-run homer in the 3rd and grounded out his next time. Had 4 hits in the series. The pitch swung on, foul back, and he was going for the long one. This game already 2 hours and 45 minutes old because of the numerous walks and long counts and the scoring, along with the extra care that the players take in a game of this importance. Kaline, a right-handed batter, battling the southpaw Joe Horner with 2 on, 2 out. In the Tigers' 7th. 7-3, St. Louis. Kaline could make it a 1-run ball game. Horner ordinarily does not allow many home run balls. The pitch coming. Swung on and grounded to Javier. Cooley has it. Force out at second. The inning is over. Kaline forces Stanley to end the 7th inning. Tigers leave 2 on. They've stranded 6. At the end of 7, it is St. Louis 7 and Detroit 3.
Going into the top half of the 8th inning, the new pitcher for the Tigers, a young fellow by the name of John Hiller. He's 6 feet tall, weighs 185 pounds. Born in Duluth, Minnesota. I've seen him pitch a few times. I know one thing he does have. It's a good fastball, a good curve. He has no trick pitches. The first hitter for the Cardinals will be Dal Maxwell, the shortstop. He'll be followed by the pitcher, Joe Horner, and then Lou Brock. Okay, Jack.
Thank you, Pee Wee. It is Maxville leading off against John Hiller, the left-hander. First southpaw employed by Nail Smith, manager of the Tigers today. And we go into the 8th inning. St. Louis scored 4 in the 5th, 3 of them on a home run by McCarver, 3 in the 7th inning on a home run by Cepeda. And the Cardinals lead in the game 7-3. Al Kaline homered for 2 of the Tiger runs in the third. And Dick McAuliffe's 5th inning homer gave Detroit their other run. 53,634 at the ballpark here in Detroit. Maxville is wearing the color. He's 0 for 3. He's 0 for 8 in the ballgame. And the pitch is on the way from Hiller to Maxville. The right-handed batter takes it high, ball 1, and the 8th inning is underway. Really gets to be pretty tough when the at-bats start to mount. You still don't have that first base knock in a series like this.
Yes, I've been there before, Jack.
There's a fly ball to center by Maxville. Will be caught by the center fielder Northrup. He has it, 1 gone. And Maxville is 0 for 4.
I was thinking of your former teammate, Gil Hodges. Remember the one where he had such that long string and a great hitter, a great guy. The whole world was pulling for him, and he couldn't get a base hit for love or money.
Yes, I remember that, and I think Gil went something like 0 for 17, and I never saw a fellow be cheered any more than he was in Ebbets Field. In fact, the latter part of it, he was getting a standing ovation. He was a big favorite in Ebbets Field.
Joe Horner, the batter, throws left, bats right, and corks one into the left field corner. Horton over after the ball, and he'll hold him to a single. Horner singles to left with 1 man out here in the 8th inning. By the way, talking about Gil Hodges, we hope that New York skipper is convalescing in rapid fashion.
I understand he's doing much better, and he should be in the hospital for maybe a couple more weeks. Then he'll go back to New York, and they say if he takes it easy, and I'm sure that he will, he'll be back in their manager next year for the Mets, and I understand that Rube Walker is pitching coach. So there's one thing for sure. Next year, Gil, you will not throw any batting practice.
Joe Horner, who was hitless during the year, 0 for 6, just got a base knock, and Lou Brock is up against the left-hander Hiller. Brock has walked, singled, struck out, 2 for 3, and stolen 3 bases. Runner at first with 1 out. Ball 1 high.
Maybe Hiller wanted Horner to get on, in case Brock got on.
Brock would have Horner in front of him and couldn't do any running. We're in the top of the 8th inning. And the pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss by Brock, and the count evens up at 1-1. Yet another pitcher starts to warm up. Fred Lasher, a right-hander, is in the Tiger bullpen. 10 hits for the Cardinals now in the game, and 4 for the Tigers. Brock swings, base hit into right field. It'll be fielded by Kaline, and Horner stops at second base. Joe Horner falls down to avoid the throw-in from Kaline back into the infield. So Lou Brock is 3 for 4 today, but he won't be able to run because Horner's in front of him.
They have him trapped now, Jack. He's gone down to second so many times a day, he doesn't look out, he's liable to run over top of Horner.
Horner dusts himself off after hitting the dirt there at second base. That's 11 Cardinal hits. Cardinals lead 7-3 in the game, and the batter is Curt Flood. This is the first inning of work for John Hiller, who has followed Wilson, Dobson, McMahon, and Patterson to the mound. Tigers aren't likely to need any relievers tomorrow with Denny McClain pitching, however. Flood, the hitter, 2 for 3. Curveball, drops in, called strike, outside corner. Flood has walked, fouled out, double driven in a run, singled, and started a 3-run 7th inning rally. 2 on, only 1 out. Flood waits, and here it comes. Curve, fly ball, foul down into the left field corner. Down into the Tiger bullpen as Flood broke the bat. And that's strike 2. We're situated, Pee-wee and I, a little bit up the third baseline with regard to home plate.
The Hiller has quite a breaking ball, it's obvious.
Yes, he does have, and you mentioned at the start of the game, Mayo Smith and his Detroit organization has done a terrific job in building up their bullpen. Most of their bullpen is considerably young in Hiller and Warden and Patterson, but they've done a great job for the Tigers all year.
Flood is in the hole, 0-2. 2 on, 1 out. The pitch coming. Curve in the dirt. Nice play by Freehan, who blocked the ball, kept it out in front. The sun has disappeared, and I doubt that we'll see it again this afternoon.
Just as I said that, here it comes. I'd make a great weatherman, wouldn't I? The lights are on here at the ballpark. Hiller pitches and Flood. Curveball, fly ball, left center. Northrup, the center fielder, will catch it for the out. He has it. 2 gone. The runners return. Flood, fly to center field. The hitter, Roger Maris, with 1 out of 2 plus 2 walks. And a key double on a pop fly in the 7th inning.
Jack, what's your weather prediction for tomorrow?
I'm not going to say a word, but they say it might rain here. This is Hiller's first inning of work. He's trying to avoid being scored on. Has to get the left-handed batter, Roger Maris. Maris didn't play much against left-handed pitching this year. The pitch to him, curve and a foul on a half swing, strike 1. That's the way he got the double the last time.
Looks like the fans remembered, too.
Detroit jumped out in front of this ball game on a home run by Kaline in the 3rd inning with a man on. And the Cardinals got 4 in the 5th and haven't been headed since. It's 7-3 now in the 8th. With 2 on, 2 out, and Maris ducks away from a high, tight fastball. John Hiller on the mound. Checks the runners and pitches, and it's high and tight again. Ball 2. Hiller from Duluth, Minnesota. 6-footer, 185. Looks a bit like Mickey Lolich on the mound, although Lolich is a little bit heavier. The next delivery to Maris, fastball, fouled back. Maris was waiting for the fastball, got it, but fouled it. And the deuces are wild again. 2 on, 2 out, 2 and 2 on the hitter. In the Tiger 8th inning, some big hitters will be up there. Cash, Horton, and Northrup against Joe Horner. Two balls, 2 strikes to count. The left-hander gets ready and fires, and a curve is grounded to first baseman Cash. He gives it to the pitcher covering. He's out. The inning is over. Cash to Hiller. The Cardinals lead 2, and they've stranded 8. We're going into the Tiger 8th. The score, the Cardinals 7 and Detroit 3.
The bottom half of the 8th inning, Joe Hunter coming out to take his position on the mound. The score is 7-3. Norm Cash will be the first hitter for the Tigers. A left-hander facing a left-hander. Then it will be Willie Horton and Jim Northrup. And I know that Billy Muffett, Red Shandies, will be watching Horner, as Jack Buck told you. He very seldom goes over a couple innings, but he looks pretty strong to me, and especially I know Muffett and Shandies will be wanting to stand in a pitch to Cash and Northrup, both left-handed hitters. 7-3, bottom half of the 8th inning. The Cardinals lead the Tigers. Tell you all about it, Jack Buck.
And the Tigers have only 4 hits in the game, and that's not like them. And as Mr. Reese pointed out earlier, the Tigers have been a late-inning ball club. Many times this year, they pulled the game out of the fire in the 8th and 9th innings. We have a cozy little broadcast booth here at Tiger Stadium. It includes Jim Simpson, whom you've seen and heard many times on NBC, and our producer, Len Dillon. And we hope you've enjoyed our story of the ball game. Many people said when this game started that the winner of this contest would win it all, but if it ends like this, Danny McLean will have something to say about that against Gibson tomorrow. Somebody's parading through the stands with a Cardinal banner, and that's dangerous duty.
It's like waving a red flag here in this town, because these fans here have turned out this year with well over 2 million. They haven't had a pennant win a long time. They're red hot.
Norm Cash takes the ball outside. Joe Horner's on the mound. Retired 2 men in the 6th inning in relief of Ray Washburn. Got out of the 7th, though he allowed a single and a walk. Cash is looking for his first hit of the day. Swings and misses at a high fastball. And it's 1-1. The totals here in the bottom of the eighth: 7-11-0 St. Louis, 3-4-0 Detroit. Cash on 1-1, pops one foul over our head now to play, and it's 1-2. It'll be Cash, Horton, and Northrop. All indications are that the pitching pairings will stay in rotation. Gibson and McLean tomorrow, and Briles and Lolich on Monday. The additional games here in Detroit. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Norm Cash, and the pitch, and down he goes. A head-high fastball thrown by Horner makes it 2-2. Horner doesn't usually get many strikeouts in the ballgame. Keeps the ball down and depends on his fielders to do the job for him. 2-2. The leadoff hitter in the Tiger eighth. Strike 3 call, a fastball. Cash doesn't argue about it. He knew it was in there, and Horner gets his first strikeout. 1 gone. The leadoff hitter is so important when you're down 4 runs as the Tigers are now.
Yes, it is. And Norm Cash has never had the reputation of hitting against left-handers, but since he changed his new stance to that open stance it is, he's had a pretty good success against him, but not that time.
Now Horner will take his chances against Willie Horton with the bases empty. The pitch to Horton, swung on and missed. And strike 1. You should have to pay your way to the ballpark to have the privilege of getting up and taking a swing like Horton just displayed. He is really strong. 1 out, 8th inning. Bases empty as Horner delivers to Horton. High. Ball in the strike. Jim Northrop in the on-deck circle. 7-3, the Cardinals are out in front. The 1-1 delivery is on the way. Horton swings and misses. Horner got by it. And he's out in front on the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We talked about the fact that Horner doesn't usually work many innings in a game. But he appears to be strong right now with 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Horton takes a little time before getting set in the batter's box. The next pitch is coming. Swung on and missed. He got him with a good moving fastball. That tailed away from the left-handed hitter, and there are 2 out.
Jack, I think he's removing all doubts about whether he can pitch 3 innings tonight, because he is really bringing that ball in there pretty fast right now.
And he has a left-handed batter up there, Jim Northrop. He's 0 for 3 and 1 for 11 in the series. Tigers center fielder, for whom they play straight away in the Cardinal outfield. The pitch coming, curveball, ground ball. Cepeda, big hop, makes the play himself. And the 8th inning is over as they go down in order. And at the end of 8 innings, it's the Cardinals 7 and Detroit 3. We go into the 9th inning here at Tiger Stadium, Detroit, with St. Louis out in front of the Tigers by the score of 7-3. John Hiller on the mound, his 2nd inning of work, and Cepeda leading off. Curveball in the dirt, ball 1. And the 9th inning is underway. Cepeda was 0 for 3 and then hit a 3-run homer in the 7th inning. He swings and lifts a towering fly ball to left center. Northrop is going to catch it back near the track and has it between the 365 and 400-foot markers. Cepeda flies to center field. The batter, McCarver. McCarver hit a 3-run homer in the 5th inning. The Cardinals were trailing at the time 2-1. Ray Washburn stands to be the winner in this game, and Earl Wilson stands to be the loser. The story on Wilson was that he pulled a hamstring muscle in his leg about 5 pitches before he was removed from the ballgame in the 5th inning. McCarver takes a strike. If that muscle pull is bad, Pee Wee, he might not see additional action.
He may not. I saw him fooling with his leg while he's down on the mound when Mayo Smith came out there to talk to him. That'll be a big blow to the Tigers.
It surely would. A ball and a strike to count to McCarver at the plate with 1 out.
We're in the top of the ninth, and the Cardinals lead the Tigers 7-3. McCarver takes it high. Ball 2, 2-1. A 3-hour ball game. Along about now. McCarver swings and a half swing and a tap to third. Wirt up with the ball and throws him out easily. 2 gone. Well, Darrell Patterson worked 1 inning without being scored on. This is the 2nd inning of work for Hiller, and the Cardinals haven't crossed the plate against him. 3 runs against Wilson, 1 against Dobson, and 3 against McMahon. The batter, Shannon, 1 out of 3 plus a walk. Right-handed batter, left-handed pitcher. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Hiller out in front of the batter. And the pitch. Changeup goes high. Billy, we haven't seen much infield play in the 3 games of the series thus far, have we? Not many ground balls and double plays and action around third base and all. The pitch fouled by Shannon. That makes it 1-2.
No, we haven't. Jack saw a fine play by Mickey Stanley in the 2nd game over at the Cardinals. And Dow Maxwell made a couple of fine plays. And after that, as far as seeing quick double plays, we haven't seen those.
Curveball and a base hit to center by Shannon, his 2nd hit of the day. Hiller got a curveball out over the plate, and Shannon is now 2 for 4 in the ball game. And 4 out of 12 in the series. He's on with 2 out. And Javier is the batter. He's 0 for 3. Walk back in the 2nd inning. The Cardinals have stranded 8 runners in the game, but still lead 7-3. Detroit, in 8 turns at bat, has stranded 6. Cash holding against Shannon, and Javier swings, base hit into right field. Shannon will stop at second base as Kaline fields the ball. 2 on, 2 out. We talked about Javier earlier hitting against those left-handers. He hit 500, I believe, Pee-wee, if that's all he saw.
Jack, I just started to say that. I said, well, Javier, you told me how well he hits left-handers. Let's see what he looks like now. Before I could get it out, he had lined one into right field. I've noticed a little bit, seems like against left-handers, kind of keeps that head down in there a little bit better.
He did it that time. Shannon singled with 2 out. Javier followed with a single, and Maxville, looking for his first series hit, 0 for 4 in this game and 0 for 9 overall. Right-handed batter at the plate. The pitch from Hiller. Good fastball and called strike 1. The score, St. Louis 7, Detroit 3, 9th inning. 2 on, 2 out. Hiller, the 5th Tiger pitcher. It's a sign from Freehand and delivers foul back out of play into the seats, and that makes it strike 2. Ball goes into the upper deck amongst the crowd of 53,634. Mostly Tiger fans and mostly quiet at the moment. But the Tigers have the 9th inning. Freehand due to lead off. Maxville swings, fouls another one. Off to the right, into the seats. Maxville batted .252. That's come to be an acceptable figure for an infielder in this day and age.
Yes, it is. And I was just noticing that Maxwell in 14 series game has not made a miscue. He can handle that glove with it. If he can hit around .250, he has to be very valuable to a ball club.
Curveball and a half swing and a foul rolling back, and it remains strike 2 on Maxville. The totals at this point here in the top of the 9th inning, 7-13-0 for the Cardinals. 3 runs, only 4 hits, and no errors for Detroit.
Talking about shortstops, they can pick that ball. They have a fellow here with the Tigers. He's not playing now, Ray Aller. If he can hit .250, I guarantee he can play anywhere.
We've seen him in the late inning Thursday. The pitch to Maxville, way high, ball 1. Shannon at second and Javier at first. It would appear that the Cardinals are about to go up 2-1 with Gibson against McLean tomorrow. But the Tigers still have that 9th inning. High again to Maxville with a fastball. That makes it 2-2. First base umpire, Bill Kinnaman, will be working behind the plate tomorrow. The umpires go from home plate to right field to left field into third base, and work their way around to the plate. The pitch coming, and Maxville takes it high, and that makes it 3-2. Well, Hiller pitched the 8th inning on 2 hits, but they were stranded. 2 hits in this 9th inning with 2 outs. Fred Lasher, a right-hander, is warming up in the Tiger bullpen. The runners will go on the 3-2 delivery. There they go, and it's high, ball 4. The bases are loaded. Hiller gives his first walk. It's the 7th pass given to the Cardinals today. Loads the bases and brings up Joe Horner. Horner got a base hit in the 8th inning, his first hit of the year. He throws left, bats right. Combination you don't see too often. Shannon at third, Javier at second, Maxville at first with 2 men gone. John Hiller, the lefty, is going to work off the stretch despite the fact the bases are loaded. Curveball fouled by Horner, strike 1. Tiger fans quiet, waiting to see what the score will be when their club comes to bat in the bottom of the 9th inning. Bases loaded, 2 out, the pitch, high. And that evens it up, 1-1 against Horner. Outfield playing Horner just a bit to the left. Kaline in a step in right field. The pitch from Hiller. Oh, and a swing and a miss as Horner chased one over his head. He's in the hole now, 1-2. Fred Lasher, a submarine-type pitcher in the bullpen in the left field corner for Detroit. Hiller with the bases loaded and 2 out, trying to get out of the jam, and he has Horner set up. Comes to the plate, and it's high. Horner laid off, 2-2. Horner chased 1, so Hiller thought he might as well give him another. But the count goes to 2-2.
Inning fighter. Jackson is the defensive captain. Now let's go to the bench and see whether they take penalty or not. Keep the downs moving.
Hiller still working off the strip. With the runners at first, second, and third. High, ball 3, 3-2. Now he's got to throw a strike or force in a run. We saw some of this Thursday when Horner walked a couple of men with the bases loaded in St. Louis. And if he walks him or loses him in any other fashion, it will bring up Lou Brock. The runners will all go with the pitch, the old merry-go-round. To the belt, there go the runners, and he struck him out. Horner goes down swinging. The Cardinals lead 3. They've stranded 11. The Tigers bat in the 9th inning with the score. St. Louis 7 and Detroit 3.
Timmy Reese along with Jack Buck. The bottom half of the 9th inning, the last chance for the Tigers. They trail in this ball game by a score of 7-3. Joe Hunter on the mound of the Cardinals. And here's what he'll have to face. In the bottom half of the 9th inning, Bill Freehan. Leading off, Don Wirth. The next hitter, and I imagine a pinch hitter, I'm sure, will be the third hitter. Come on back in here, Jack.
John Hiller pitched 2 scoreless innings in relief. No runs, 4 hits, struck out 1, walked 1. And Bill Freehan was walked and twice flied to left field. And at the plate, he's 0 for 8 in the series. And he'll try to start something for the Tigers that trail 7-3. Horner on the mound. Horner relieved in the 6th. Pitched the 7th and 8th, pitches in the 9th. Steve Carlton, the left-hander. Dick Hughes, the right-hander, in the Cardinal bullpen in case Horner gets in trouble. He pitches to Bill Freehan, and it's swung on and popped foul back. And it goes near the screen and on the screen as McCarver chased back. Huey, turning point in this game came about in the 6th inning when Freehan was hitting against Horner. 2 on, 2 out, hit that fly ball that sent Brock back to the track. If that one jumped out, things would be a little different right now. Would have put the Tigers out in front.
Yes, it would have, and of course it kind of wonder what would happen if Earl Wilson would have been able to stay in this ballgame.
Horner delivers, and Freehan takes the ball outside. It's 1-1. Horner, a left-hander. Freehan, a right-handed batter. Don Wirt on deck. Tigers have Trubisky on the bench as you think about a pinch hitter, a right-handed pinch hitter. Along with Ray Euler. Jim Price. Low inside to Freehan. That makes it 2 balls and a strike. Fans still whooping it up here. Tigers need 4 to get back into the game at 7-3 St. Louis. Horner delivers. Freehan swings. Pops it into short center. Javier going out. Flood in. Flood calls for the ball. Glasses down. Makes the catch. 1 out. Freehan is 0 for 3 and 0 for 9. 1 gone. Don Wirt, the batter. He's 0 for 3 also. Started out like a Tiger day when Al Kaline hit a 2-run homer, a tremendous blast into the upper deck in left field in the 3rd inning. Ball 1 low to Wirt. Later, McAuliffe homered. And the Cardinals got home runs, first from McCarver to bring St. Louis from behind, and later from Cepeda. 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th inning. The pitch is on the way from Horner, and it's a strike called, 1-1. Jim Price is on deck. Tiger catcher. He'll be the pinch hitter for Hiller. Wirt swings, grounds 1 to short. Maxville up with the ball, almost lost it, throws, he got him. Maxville had the ball on his fingertips and almost dropped it, Pee Wee.
Yes, he did, Jack. That ball kind of stayed down in the last hop to him, and Dell almost came off the ball.
McCarver down behind the plate to give the sign. 2 out, bottom of the 9th inning, 7-3. St. Louis leading, the pitch coming. Price swings, and a high fly ball to left should end the game. Lou Brock, the left fielder, is under the ball, and he has it. The contest is over. The Tigers go down in order in the 9th inning. Final score, the Cardinals 7 and Detroit 3.